so I'll finish my story here. So I met my neighbor the other day, first time in a while. I didn't really talk to any of my neighbors. I talked to the one across the street, but because of my tendency to just mind my own fucking business and sit in my cell and do my own thing, I don't really talk to the neighbors, right? So we've had a fence situation. We got bears out here like crazy. So the bears come onto the fence and they bust it. Like we got 300-pound bears trying to tightrope on the top of a cedar fence. And the guy we bought this house from made the fence, but put the posts in the, like he's fucking Huckleberry Finn or whatever, right? Like he dug the hole, put the post in, and then just covered it up with dirt.
Yeah, didn't cement it or nothing.
Didn't cement it or nothing. So the fence is rotten as hell, right? After 2 years. And so we're like, okay, I got to get this fence replaced. I'm not buying a fence. Like there's no way. Like, sorry. Like, we're tripping, we're cutting in together on this fence. This neighbor behind me, motherfucker doesn't watch the podcast, so I could say anything about him. He is ignoring me. The fence literally fell on his property. He's just like, oh, nothing's going on. I'm like, dude, there's a fence issue here, right? But this guy over here was good. I went and knocked on his door. They had one of those cameras where she's at work.
The ring cams, yeah.
Yeah, right? And I'm like, a TELUS special. Shout out. And so they're like, yeah, my husband will come over when he gets home from work. I'm like, all right, cool. About a few hours later, husband knocks on the door, comes in. Nice guy, Jamil, one of those brown Russians. Hey, you know those guys?
No.
They're like brown Russians. They're Muslim Russians.
Okay, interesting.
So he's brown. He's like a brown guy, Indian guy, but he's Russian.
Normally from like Dagestan or like one of those places.
Yeah, like something, man. He grew up in Russia and then he moved to Surrey. I'm like, oh, what was rougher? He was like, Surrey. I'm like, really? He's like, crazy. So he comes over and he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's talk the fence. Nice guy, man. Total, like, you know, he's like, yeah, we'll have some beers and all that. And I'm like, near beer, right? Like, it's not as cool, you know? When someone says beers, I'm like, near beer, shit. Whatever. But on his way out the door, he comes down and he goes, oh, by the way, heads up, I'm a cop. And I'm like, oh, you're fucking raining down on me. Tupac is raining his fucking love down on me right now. I'm like, shut up.
Let's make something clear. You are completely legit.
I'm completely legit.
Yes.
But I love the fact that my neighbor's a cop and I know he's a cop and he doesn't know I'm not a cop.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm loving it. And I'm like, oh, really? What do you do? And he's like, I'm a fucking undercover homicide detective.
Crazy.
Oh, and I'm like, tell me, what's that? And so I guess he goes like, does crazy shit all across the country.
Yeah, it goes deep undercover.
Deep,
probably,
right?
Yeah.
And he's like, he goes to places he doesn't lives here, you know what I mean? But goes to other places.
Do you think he did a deep dive into your background?
Well, a simple running of my plates would tell you that, you know. And so I'm like, oh, I like the guy. You know, he's a nice brown guy, right? And I'm like, cool, man. I always tell him, like, I always have brown friends now my whole life, right? He's like, oh, okay, awesome. I'll come over and drink, you know, a 12-pack with you. I'm like, Jesus Christ. 'Cause he's like, he's a cop and he's brown, right? Yeah. So I'm like, dude's drinking. Like, he comes over to drink.
Yeah.
It's like 3-1.
He's really not
he's like go home and beat his wife after.
Oh yeah. He told me, he's like, I was on a 4-day bender. I'm like, 4 days.
Dangerous dudes, yo.
Dude, even like at the club and stuff too, we get like a couple of the cops that we see on the beat all the time, and on the days off they'll come party with us. Damn. And like one time we had to grab one of them and be like, hey man, you're overly intoxicated. You're bumping into people. Like we're walking. But he's like, thanks guys, I appreciate it. And every time he comes back when he's sober, we're like, hey, remember the time we kicked you out? Like, you know.
Damn.
He's like, yes, I noticed that your toilets were not legal. Here's your fine. Right?
Dude, brown dudes in alcohol is like,
brown
you know,
dude, brown cop.
100%. And it's like white guys on steroids.
I guess, eh?
Yeah.
That's so true.
Brown dudes get some liquor in them and they become Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, it's when I do brown liquor. So if I drink Crown Royal, Jameson,
Hennessy,
like I want to fight people. Like,
oh shit,
crazy! I wonder what the fuck that is,
bro. I don't know what it is.
It's so synonymous with brown people to drink brown liquor. I want to brawl everybody,
bro. And then tequila makes me slutty. Like it's wild.
Oh.
So I only really drink vodka. Like
so what does vodka do?
I'm good.
Just
I'm
chill.
Good.
You're just chill.
30 shots of vodka, fucking all good all day.
Damn.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's
30
fun.
shots of vodka?
I mean, like drinks, shots. You know,
Damn.
Popping off.
You're in the club for 6 hours. You're gonna drink a lot.
I don't even think about that. You don't even think about being in a club for 6 hours.
Yeah, if I'm out there for 6 hours, like if you average it out, it's like 5 drinks an hour.
Eh?
It's not that nuts.
That's so true, man.
Yeah.
You say that, but for like a non-drinker, I'm like, damn.
Dude, same.
Yeah.
What about you? What happens to you when you drink certain alcohols?
Well, I get quiet. For one, I get quiet. And
On what alcohol?
On any alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a real specific alcohol guy. Tequila, I'll get really stupid, like really fucking
Interesting.
stupid, like just sloppy. I'm the sloppy drunk guy. Like
Nothing makes you violent though.
no, I don't because okay.
God.
So my
Fuck.
issue, no,
Feel
I don't-
bad
I
for
don't
whoever
get
got in your way,
violent.
man.
No.
That'd be-
No, I don't get violent at
Fucked
all.
up.
Like I'm I'm the protector in that by nature, right?
Yeah.
So my whole life I've been the protector. So I'm pretty cognizant of what's happening around me. So alcohol takes me out of understanding my surroundings, so I don't enjoy it. People be like, yeah, partying, drinking, wah, woo. That's not me because my nature's protector. So if I'm inebriated, all of a sudden I'm like, holy fuck, I can't look after my
The
friends.
paranoia kicks in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh man, what if my friend gets in some shit and I'm not, right? Like that's how
I'm
I
not
think,
100.
dude.
Yeah.
So I'm always that guy. Like I'll be fake drinking.
I had one experience in my life of I think what it was meant to be buzzed. I guess.
Yeah.
On my wedding night, I drank champagne. I thought I was pimping, drank out of the bottle and shit.
Yeah.
But it just made me silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate
So-
champagne. Worst hangovers.
Worst
ever.
It was
ever.
kind of
Worst
gross.
hangovers.
It tastes
It's
like
gross.
shit.
It's gross.
Especially if you get it sprayed on you, you smell like shit. Like it's the worst. Like I don't know why people buy so much champagne. Like it's the worst fucking product.
And
ever.
just spill it everywhere.
Dude,
And those
it's
expensive
stupid.
bottles.
Yeah. Like at the club, like the cheap, good champagne goes for like $600.
That's ridiculous.
Can you imagine
No,
just
I can't.
pouring?
And
just
some guys just,
Have,
oh,
like,
here's
3
my
pairs of
Rolex.
shoes.
Fucking, here you go. It's right over my watch. Cool, man.
I'd rather have 3 pairs of shoes
Or rather,
and a
$600.
bottle of
Facts.
champagne.
facts. Yeah, that's a great trade-off, man.
If I had to spend 600, I'd just shoes or something practical. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
to me, champagne's so dumb sounding though. It's like, oh, I don't know, but like who says, oh, I have a bottle of champagne? Like nobody says that.
But wait, we had that. My bad. We had that cannabis champagne.
That was different.
Cron
thing.
Perignon?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Cron
that's
Perignon.
cool.
That was some good shit.
Good.
I've never heard of
We need
that.
to
That's
bring
cool.
some of that back.
We will. Yeah, we should pop a bottle for the 28th.
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah, that's a good
Celebratory
idea.
bottle.
I think I have to go out to Chilliwack, so I might be able to get.
Yeah, it basically infused champagne.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And it didn't taste terrible, I guess.
I was
Kinda
going to say,
a
did it just taste like weed?
club soda
Okay,
with
cool.
a little bit of cannabis taste in the background.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wasn't terrible.
That wasn't bad.
But I like the
Nice.
idea of it. It's very nice. I actually wanted to start off this conversation somewhere totally else because I
Do it.
saw some weird ass shit, and I don't really understand where we are right now. So, like, for years, people have been complaining about the religion of Islam, how you can have 4, 5, 6, 7 wives, however you want to say. Yeah, a lot of these.
When you die or when you're alive?
No.
alive.
On
Oh,
Earth.
when you're alive?
You're allowed
As
to
long
have,
as you
you're allowed
can
to have
support
4
them.
wives.
What?
Allowed to have 4 wives,
As
yeah.
long as you can support them.
As long as all of them are okay with it and you can support them, you can have
Crazy.
4 wives.
That's
it's
not
insane.
in Utah, right? That's here.
See, this is where I'm going.
or Gibson's.
This is where I'm going with this. So essentially, I mean, a lot of brown cultures, it's kind of like quietly okay for the man to have like multiple baby mamas and stuff, and like still live with his own wife. Do you guys watch like America's Got Talent or any of those shows?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was watching one episode, and there was this guy on, and he's a comic. He was actually pretty good, and he has 2 wives.
Oh.
They call it polyamorous.
Yeah, poly
okay.
lifestyle.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
And I'm watching this shit, and this is TV for kids, right?
Yeah.
America's Got Talent. It's not for fucking,
No.
grown-ups. It's for kids. Love that shit. And they're showing him with his 2 wives. And like afterwards, he killed it. He got 4 yeses and stuff. And
course
he's
he did.
leaving. They're all holding hands, and they're all hugging, and then they all give each
What
other
was
a
his
kiss.
talent? Having 2 wives?
Stand-up comic.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, he must keep them in stitches all the time. And yeah, so they're showing all this on TV, like just like regular cable TV, and I can't imagine this kind of relationship ever being normalized.
Yeah.
In like Western culture, it just doesn't seem like it's a normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all like, I guess, like B-level attractive, like attractive enough where you're like, ew.
You have to get a couple. Like,
yeah, you're not like ew when you see
You have to be
them.
the side piece in the relationship.
Yeah, there's like some kind of like attraction where people look at
Get
them.
rid
so-
of 3 of the fucking mediocre kind of white people at the same time, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly what it
Yeah,
was.
that's what it
but
is.
now, when you normalize it, right, and you give
Yeah.
people this impression that this is the
This
new
is okay.
normal. Yeah, this is new normal for relationships.
People out there are doing this.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
We come from the 90s where you know, men didn't kiss on TV at that time, right? You
yeah.
never saw that shit happen on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time I saw it happen, I was like, whoa.
And 90s Bollywood couples didn't kiss on TV.
Yeah,
or movies,
right.
You know, all of a sudden they were behind a tree and you knew they kissed. But
Yeah.
did they?
Oh, that's right. They would dip behind the tree.
Or some shit.
Oh my God! Yes, I've seen that. That's what they were doing.
Or they would come really
They would
close
come
and then the
really-
girl would turn away.
Yeah, went into the field and then the birds flew away. And they probably had sex.
That's
but,
how they
you
had
never knew.
sex. The doves.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking now, like, all it takes is one average looking couple.
Yeah.
To make it normal.
Set it
Yeah,
off.
to normalize the behavior.
So
Yeah.
I actually read about this somewhere a while ago, and they said that there are actually some states where it's legal
Yeah.
to marry. I forget what the term is, but it's where all three of you are equally married with each
Yes.
other. So that's the new norm, not new norm, but sorry, like it's now allowed where you can have that marriage as long as one of them is one sex and then there's the other two or whatever, and there's three people.
Wow.
And they all love each other the same.
Yeah.
That's
Marriage threesome.
It's
or
not like
whatever.
the two were a couple and then one they joined on. They're like, "Oh, you're cool. Want to join us?" Like it's. I don't
But
know.
did you realize it's always the guy and then two girls?
most of the time.
Most of
I've
the
seen a few where the women is the dom and there's two men.
Oh, and there's two men?
Yeah.
That actually happens?
I've seen a few of them.
Dude, what dude is getting into that relationship? Like, what kind of man are you?
Like
Okay.
you're always competing.
Yeah.
with the other guy.
Well, I think you'd have to be bi. You'd have to be bi. There'd have to be some attraction.
What, you have to have sex with the other dude, too?
I would think that would.
Oh, no way!
Wouldn't that be part of the payoff?
That
for her?
would be.
I think they switch days, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Don't they?
Megan, you got a weekend.
Right?
so
She's
great.
extra frisky tonight. It's Monday and Tuesday tonight.
Yeah.
crazy.
Right? Like, is that how it goes? Like, I don't understand. Why else would you have two men as a husband? Like, okay, let's just put in perspective here. If a man has two women as wives,
Yeah.
you're like feeling like a gangster.
Yeah.
You wake up to Ice Cube. Today's a good day every day,
day, yeah.
right? Every day you're playing that song. You're right because it's true, and you're trying to literally bust 7 nuts a week, right? I gotta satisfy him. I have to satisfy my wife. Damn it, right? I have to do it.
That's some work.
You know what I mean? So I'm putting in the work every day.
Yeah.
Right? And so you would go and do that. That's the girl. What's the girl perspective on that? Like extra shit fixed around the house? Like what is what's the benefit of having two guys?
Dude, I think a part of the conversation that we get wrong is that we don't take into account that women enjoy dick.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Double penetration. That's the one benefit right there.
wow, so you think she'd have to be a freak?
Is that being a freak though?
Well, is
I
it?
feel like that's also the norm, right?
yeah. I mean, okay. So
Sure, a girl wants to get dick down by two guys every single day.
100%.
Oh, yeah, totally normal.
the same way a guy
Totally.
wants to get, to
With
get
two
two women
chicks,
in
yeah.
a room, right?
I don't think it goes like that. I think each person has individual relationships in this in a poly relationship.
very strange.
I think you're having two different relationships. It's just like this girl is, younger
There's
and
3 relationships.
but it would be 3 relationships because the girl and the girl.
have to have a relationship.
Yeah, but I don't think it's sexual.
I don't know. Apparently, it's
Because if it is, then it's
gotta
like
be. I think if you, like you said, if you weren't a little bit bi,
Yeah.
or you weren't a little bit into that third person, why would you agree to this? Why wouldn't you just be like, "Hey, call me on the weekend and I'll see you guys later"?
Booty call.
maybe so. Just stay single, basically. I think it's a control thing,
Now
right?
the real question is, do you think you could handle that?
No, 100%
Never.
zero.
I barely satisfy one.
Yeah, exactly,
Dude,
same.
man, what are you talking about?
Same. I'm just like, what? I have to have sex tonight? Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Ladies.
Okay, so getting out of essentially a lifelong relationship.
Yeah.
23-year relationship
Jeez.
me and Max had.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, it was fucking great all the way to the very end of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But having two, man,
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yep.
you gotta have a different constitution, man. You gotta be a different kind of person.
And,
Yeah.
and honestly, I know a lot of it. What we were talking about was like the sex portion of it, but I'm sure there's a lot of like the living like life portion of it.
Yeah, like sex is only 2 minutes of your day.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
So the rest of it's got to be great
Speak for yourself, Mike.
right? it's a mandatory obligational fucking thing you have to do, right?
Okay,
So
you say this because you're in a committed relationship.
yes, for 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
sex
speak
is
for
like
yourself.
30
Mike.
years of sex. It's like,
not happening. Every
sweeping
day.
a floor for 30 years.
Oh,
well, no, it's like it's the
God.
same. So imagine if you're a janitor for 30 years. right? You're like, oh, my back, my shoulders, oh, fucking
Dude,
same
I'm a
drum.
90s R&B baby, man.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
all about that shit all fucking day, hour long,
Yeah.
whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes. And I'm a Scorpio on top of that.
Oh, you're Scorpio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man. I gotta have it.
Yeah.
Gotta fucking have it.
That's
yo.
my most compatible sex sign. Is,
Interesting.
Is Scorpio.
Yeah, no thruppling here.
No, I don't want it.
That's what's called thruppling.
Thruppling.
Thrupples. That's
Just
what
came
it
to me
is.
right now.
Yeah.
But I think it's individual relationships, and back to the fact you saw it on TV. Now, America's Got Talent and what's the other one called? American Idol. Those are all created for Middle America. All right, so they're not created for West Coast, East Coast.
city folk.
Right.
It's all for Middle America, which is primarily where all Americans and shit are, right? Like this big, like farm country,
Right.
family country. Those where all the big ratings come from, right? That's where they really try to target. So that's like the most wholesome part of America.
Bible Belt.
Bible Belt, like all that stuff
Bunch
is
of
in there,
racist
right?
motherfuckers,
So
yeah.
I don't know, man. It's kind of weird that they would do that and show that on TV.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's kind of like shocked. I was like, damn.
But I mean, is it the most shocking thing that kids see on
Well,
TV?
okay, I wouldn't be as shocked if I saw it on like HBO.
Yeah,
or,
for sure.
or like something a little bit more extreme. But on like primetime television.
AGT, yeah, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Like maybe Maury talks about it or
Yeah.
whatever, like maybe you have it on daytime where
Yeah,
not everyone's
yeah.
watching, but primetime, like that's your highest ratings and that's where you drop it. Like that means it is getting normal.
Big time.
And
Like
because we're
some
talking
producers
about
said
our
it's okay.
LGBTQ.
Oh yeah,
people.
because like they made a point to single them out.
Yeah.
And everyone like clapped. It was like
Yeah.
like yay!
Yeah, good for you.
Like,
Love,
what?
that's love.
And I mean, they were both blonde and blue eyes,
Of
so like
course.
all the men were like going nuts.
Yes.
This guy's their new hero and shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
It's getting a million Instagram followers right now. How'd you do it?
Immediate.
Oh
bro?
hell yeah!
How'd
How you do, bro? Tell me the video.
what's the secret?
Well, the sign of the time is truly Disney. Disney, and if you heard what they're doing, right? They're making it so 70% of their future Disney characters are LGBTQ,
Right. that's right.
minorities, right? They have a list of all the things that they're doing, right? And transgender characters.
So what you're really saying is they're gonna cater to the global majority now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Because
I
white
think-
people are disappearing off the planet.
Yeah, and I think the real question you have to ask is like, is this an evolution of the species? Is this state that we're in with transgender, gay, LGBTQIA, all these different subgenres
Subgenres.
of our humanity, right? They're all subgenres. We're all everything man, woman, transgender. These are all subgenres of
Right.
humanity, right?
Yeah.
Before it was black and white.
Before it was just black and white.
Right, yeah.
And so is this the evolution? Like, are we needing to do this and needing to teach our kids this? Because guess what? This is how it is. This is just how it is. So we need to educate them instead of hiding them from it, right?
I totally believe it is, yes. But I also believe like they're doing it a lot sooner than they need to be, whereas like we had an Uber driver in Montreal the other day and he was like, yeah, my fucking kid in grade 2 can fucking not do multiplication tables, but he can tell me what a transgender person is.
Oh, wow.
It's like, what the fuck?
Right.
And
Wow.
obviously like they're French and they're more like
Yeah.
older
They're
than
right
I am.
out there.
Don't
Out
give
there
a
with
fuck,
it. I was
yeah.
like, okay, cool, yeah, like he made a point, but I'm like, why are you telling us? Like,
Yeah.
Now,
He
here's
has no
the-
one to vent to. He's
So,
in
like,
the
here's the
fucking
thing,
Uber
yeah,
all day.
yeah,
He's like, I gotta talk to someone.
I think parents, like I know a lot of people that feel this way, and I think a lot of parents do this to remove the culpability from themselves to teach your kids about what the fuck's happening in the world. And it's hella disappointing, man. Like we've been having these conversations with our kids from the time they were young kids.
Yeah.
As far as acceptance and what people are going to be like and what kind of people are out there, what you have to look for,
Yeah.
what your responsibility is as someone that's educated about these things, not letting people get bullied and stuff like that. And like if parents don't do their job at home,
Yeah.
you're sending your kid to school for 8 hours a day to an underpaid teacher that has too many kids to look after, that doesn't give a fuck about the curriculum. And essentially, when there's social issues that mean something to them, they're going to be a little bit more passionate, which is probably what the kids end up getting.
Yeah.
Is the social issues that mean something to
Yeah.
the newer crop of teenagers, of teachers that are out there.
Yeah.
But like, because me and my daughter, literally just 2 days ago, we had this conversation because, when J.K. Rowling's, a couple years ago, she came out and made a statement against trans women not being women, and they like canceled her. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
they gave her a lot of shit for that.
yeah, like she she was a billionaire off of that series.
Yeah.
And she donated so much money, she lost her billionaire status.
Yeah,
like, this is a giving, caring, cares about people person, right? And all the charities she gave to were all women's charities. And they essentially dragged her to hell for what she said. And they called her a TERF. Trans exclusionary radical feminist.
Oh no!
That's the term you get. So if you support
crazy,
so if you support women, but you don't support trans women in the group of women, you're a TERF, essentially, right?
Which is crazy.
And when you get that designation now in like public discourse, you're humiliated. You can't show your face.
But it's also like what's happening in sports and stuff, right? Now you have all these like trans women that are winning medals and stuff, and swimming and what have you, and then they're like, wait, is this like now fair to women then, right? Like, because now they're just getting faster and stronger and whatever, and then actual women are getting choked, being like, hey, like, we don't have a fair shot to win anything anymore.
Yeah, I know of a couple of women that are older, that are feminist activists and have, they're authors and they're very successful, and we have this conversation with I've had this conversation with them because I think the expectation upon our generation is a little unfair. Like, we've had to change the most. We've had to evolve and adapt the most and kind of incorporate all these things into our learning and thinking. And some of these women are like, listen, I want all women to be accepted, but they're not women that have periods, that have period cramps.
You can't have a baby, you're not a woman.
Yeah, so essentially all these little details that women have already been fighting for equality for like hundreds and hundreds of years.
Right. Yeah.
Now it's kind of the trans women just kind of get the freedoms and didn't have to go through the suffrage that women went through.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of, I don't want to say older, it's not really fair, but women that have been in the struggle for a longer period of time are not as happy about the definition of woman kind of being changed. Because me and my daughter were having this conversation, and she kind of got offended because she was like, they're taught to be very accepting. So when someone challenges the acceptance part of it, they're kind of like, well, just be accepting. Like, just do everyone. Just do it. And I'm like, well, listen, what about women that aren't accepting? And I'm like, I don't want that. This is not what a woman's struggle is. And I give her a simple, ask this question to people. It's going to blow your mind what answers they give you. I asked her, what is a woman? And she said, I don't know.
Well, see, that's stupid. How can you not know? That's the brainwashing of our society.
But it's such a broad, like, title.
Can you have a baby? I know people hate me for it, but men have been dealing with this for way longer than women have been.
In what sense?
Well, okay, think about this. When you see a guy who's a muscle-bound fucking freak, and all the girls are like, oh my god, he's muscles, right? And they fucking fawn over them. And then you look at the ordinary guys that are like, fuck, right? I'm just an ordinary guy. That's right there. That's the same thing as for the women with the transgender. Men have been dealing with being demasculated by other men for fucking ever. Our whole life we've dealt with that, dude. If you really, really think about it, right? But we're men, we're supposed to be stronger, and it's not a struggle. It's not a true struggle. How the fuck do they? They don't know what goes inside of a man when you get demasculated by another man. Think about getting beat up in front of people, right? Getting into a fight and getting beat up in front of other men.
Yeah.
That hurts. I've had that happen.
Yeah.
That's some shit.
Right? And so we've had to have that struggle as well. And so, we haven't really gotten over it. And unfortunately, I don't think women are going to get over it either. I think this is just something that we have to accept as
if anything,
evolution.
it's going to get more complicated before
it gets complicated.
Easier, right? Like, they're not just going to wake up one day and be like, well, we're either going to revert now, or like, this is the clear boundaries. It's always going to keep changing.
Yeah.
Like, that's the constant. It's changed now, right?
I think everyone needs to just, one thing is just get it together and be happy with what you are and who you are. Be happy with it. Stop fucking thinking about what other people are doing and who they are, who they're trying to be, and focus inward on yourself and love yourself and be yourself, dude. 100%. Because that is the secret of life.
How do people get there?
By just stop worrying about what other people fucking think, are saying and doing. Like, if you think about it, the trolls out there that are on their high horse shouting down at people are the most insecure, fucked up people that there are out there. Right?
Absolutely.
All these people who are up there like, trans, no, I'm a woman. How dare you say I'm not a woman? they have mental problems, a lot of those people. But you meet trans people who are like, hey man, everyone can have their opinion. I am who I am. They're confident in themselves.
Right.
There's
and you don't need to have that back and talk about it.
yeah,
Exactly.
And they understand you, right? So if we just focus on ourselves and just say, fuck everybody else, I'm going to focus on me being me and living my best life, we wouldn't have any of these issues, man.
Yeah, if you were a life coach
Yeah.
and you could make people feel that way,
Yeah.
that might be something.
I mean, it always just comes down to kind of like you said, like a little bit of reflecting, a little bit of like asking yourself what it is that makes you happy. Because I do feel a lot of people do things in their life not out of their own true happiness, but out of what they think they're expected to be doing, or what they think that, you know, society tells me I should be doing, or society tells me now I need to pick a gender, or you know, now I'm bi, but you know, am I bi? Am I trans? What am I? Blah blah blah. Now I got to think through all this shit. But like you said, if you just decide for yourself, like, this is what I want to be, this is what I'm happy with, and no one can tell you otherwise. Fucking just do it, right?
Yeah, it's a wild conversation for me to have because of the era that we grew up in and generations that we came from.
But I mean, if I can compare it to something that's more maybe on our level, us growing up as East Indian second generation kids in Vancouver, a lot of pressures that I had growing up was, hey, go to school, get a good job, get married, have some kids, buy a house. Fucking rinse and repeat.
In that order,
you know.
Yes.
But here I am, you know, 34 years old, married for 10 years, dropped out of college, became a nightclub promoter. Me and my wife still have no kids, and we take 6 trips a year. Damn. You know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they go to me, oh, like family will be like, oh, like,
that's the life.
Yeah.
But you said, but what do I get from like family? Oh, look at so and so. He has a house, 2 kids. Look at how happy he is.
Yeah.
Why can't you be that happy? I'm happy.
What are you saying?
Imposed happiness.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you're 34. You haven't bought a house yet?
Yeah.
God, I haven't seen these prices. What the
Yeah.
fuck? Get out of here.
I'd rather take 6 trips than have a mortgage.
or like, hey, you've been married 10 years. You don't have kids yet? Like, something wrong.
Yeah.
What's going on? I don't know. My wife owns a salon. I work at a nightclub 4 nights a week. I would not take care of my kid. It'd be a fucking shit show.
No, that's responsible in my opinion. That's
right?
totally
I'm gonna
responsible.
bring this kid into this world that I'm gonna fuck up, like, and not be there for like how my parents
So
were
true,
not there for
man.
me.
More people need to think that way.
They
So
totally
that's the
do.
thing. Like, but to 90% out there, they'd be like, oh, this guy veered off the path.
Yeah.
Especially in our culture.
Right, 100%.
Big time.
I was going to school for accounting, and then I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Making way more money working at the club.
Yeah, it's way better, and
You
that's
know,
the thing.
and
You
something to enjoy.
gotta you gotta find that. That's your only real. And we've always wondered what's the point of life. The point of life is to figure out who you are. Your gift is your life.
Yep.
So you don't have to go around and try to become something.
Nope.
Your job is to figure out who you are and
Yep.
how you function the best in your life.
Yep.
Right. So, and that's kind of what has opened the door for the transgender world, because you're seeing people who were born. Like, imagine us growing up, we didn't see any of this.
Nah.
Right. That's
Or
why
it was hidden.
we're bigger victims of anybody, because we didn't grow up with this. This was imposed upon us now in our 40s,
Totally,
our midlife,
yeah.
right? So our 30s, right? And it was just boom, thrown at us. Deal with this, right? And so it's hard for us to. I met a guy at the gym when I was going to Trevor Linden Gym, and I was talking to him, and we were talking blah blah blah, and he told me straight up, I'm pansexual, and I'm like, what's that? He goes, you know, man, women, whatever, right? And I'm like, oh, he's open to whatever. I said, well, what do you prefer? He goes, women. And I'm a little confused. I'm like, well, okay, so you're a guy and you prefer women, you would be with women, but you're
fluid.
You're fluid or whatever it was, right? I'm like, but that just means you're straight,
You're just, yeah,
right?
heterosexual.
Like, you're confusing me,
Yeah.
because
Like, you're a heterosexual
Yes!
who's exploring once in a while, and that's...
but I prefer women. Yeah, okay, then you're straight, dude. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, I don't get it. I'm so confused right now. We can't be friends just because it's so confusing. I'm 40.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how it became, right? Because I couldn't grasp it. I'm like, and he's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, you have a girlfriend? Yeah. You have a girlfriend. Do you have a boyfriend? No.
Yeah.
Right? So it's confusing, but it's not our job to figure it out.
No.
It's our job to be conscious of what we do. Right, and be conscious
And
that
be
everyone has a
understanding.
choice,
Be
and be understanding.
understanding.
You know, as the gurus of our generation, the
Yeah.
40-year-olds
Yeah,
were
yeah.
the gurus, right? You know, we're like the chiefs. In the back in the day, we're the shaman. The shaman were like 35 and 40 years old.
Yeah,
the Incan shaman,
I
right?
prefer the philosophers.
Whatever, philosophers, right? They
a
were
little
all
more
our
attractive to
age
me.
when
Yeah.
they were smart in the village. The people would come to them. The 40-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
Because they only live till 50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they're the smart ones.
Well, you asked if this, when you started, if this was going to be our evolution, and I think it has to be.
Yeah.
I think because we fixated so much of our existence on race, because it's always been about race, up until, now that there's a new identity crisis to talk about, race has to become a thing of the past before we can kind of focus on becoming what we are trying to be.
The whole
right?
world is going to become beige at some point
Yeah.
or whatever. Like
Pretty
even
much.
again, like I said, I was just in Montreal, and almost every single like server, Uber driver, anyone I met out there were so many mixes. So there was like Moroccan with like Puerto Rican, and then you had like black with like Afghani, and then you had like all these different cool mixes that I was like, huh. So no one here is just like white,
No.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was wild. Like
Yeah.
we actually talked about it on the airplane ride home. Me and my friends were like, that was the one thing that kind of like not threw us off, but we like noticed it because every time you ask someone, hey, what's your background? Because they had a different accent or whatever,
got a
and
list.
they give you the list. Some people had 4 or 5 things on them. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, and I think it's going to keep happening, especially with this new generation that
Yeah.
doesn't really see color as much.
Yeah.
I think everyone's just going to be.
It's just going to
making babies.
disappear into nothing, racism one day, right? Like it'll just
really
all of
hope
a
so.
sudden won't be around.
Probably
There'll be
another 100
bigger issues.
Yeah.
Right? There'll be bigger issues that even today, like look at the shootings in the States.
Crazy.
Okay.
Never stops.
Okay. Do you know who the shooters are?
It's a white kid.
White males, 20s, right? Like this is the demographic of every shooter right
Always.
Every shooter.
now, right? And so you can see it slowly because in the 90s it used to be black male 20s,
Well, that was more gang violence.
but that's only people who were doing shootings.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
white
the
people were
difference
doing
was they
shootings.
weren't like public shootings. They weren't going into public spaces and murdering strangers.
No, but it was a
Right.
different time
Yeah.
of shooting.
There were a lot of bodies.
Yeah.
But it was all gang
It wasn't until
related.
Columbine where we really heard the first time of white shooters. Like that was the first
Yeah.
real thing I can, if I go way back,
Yeah,
I can't
that
remember
would've been
anything
the
else.
big one.
The only other thing you would ever hear of growing up was like Vietnam,
Yeah.
right? Like everybody like going crazy and shooting.
And all the serial
Vietnamese.
killers are white too. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah.
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 But they were respectfully raping and stabbing and strangling people.
Yeah.
The way it should be.
Right? Yeah. It was more unicornish.
Well, I'm a
back
little
then.
pissed off with this conversation today because, like, dude, white people on social media are the
saw your thing
fucking
today, you ran.
worst. Oh, dude, you don't understand. I'm having this conversation online, right? And I know, you shouldn't have these conversations.
Don't do it.
You shouldn't do it.
Don't.
But
It's a rabbit hole.
yes, I understand. But some people need
Yeah.
to be taught some shit.
Oh, man.
And this conversation was about the shooting and the shooter.
Yeah.
And I put a simple comment that he was arrested,
Oh,
unharmed.
the guy yesterday.
Yeah, the July 4th shooter.
Dressed like a woman or whatever.
Unharmed. Yeah, and he got away in a dress.
Yeah.
And not a mark on him. Meanwhile, the kid in Akron, Jalen, was shot.
Yeah.
They said that he was shot so many times.
Yeah.
They don't know how many bullets actually hit him.
They said almost 60 to something.
Holy
Yeah.
12 in
Is that
his
the guy in his apartment?
No,
No,
this
no,
is a young kid that was doing like a
So
skip
many.
the dishes run.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said he ended up with 12 bullets in his face.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they shot 90 times. They hit him 60 times.
Yeah,
5
something like that.
cops.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know. Is it what 16 in the clip and
Yeah,
one in the
16 in
chamber,
the
right?
chamber, yeah.
So 16 bullets at a time. It means every
They
single
unloaded all their
everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Anger.
They just unloaded everything.
Like they must have known they hit him at some point.
Like,
Like why would you keep going?
Where is he? Like how do you keep
what
running?
state was that in?
Akron, Ohio.
Oh, it was in Akron.
Yeah. So this happens, and I
Horrible.
mentioned the disparity about how this kid was unarmed, committed no crime, had his tail light out, some nonsense, and he's
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
This motherfucker shot, killed people,
Yeah. Sniped
actively
them.
And
shooting
they just
people.
blocked him in and then they arrested him.
That's it. And he led them on a chase. So he was technically resisting. They could have
Yeah.
shot him
Yeah.
at any
They
time.
tried to ask him to pull over, he didn't stop.
Wow.
And they arrest him unharmed. He's going to be able to see his family again.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to get a lawyer. He's going to be able to go to trial. He's going to be able to go through all this stuff and live.
Crazy.
And the amount of white people that came through just to say, well, he wasn't resisting arrest.
Wow.
That's the fucking comment. He wasn't resisting arrest.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can murder people.
Yeah.
Have the weapon on you still. Lead the police on a chase.
Well, he didn't have the weapon. He left the weapon at the scene.
Oh yeah, he left his weapons, but I mean, he was one of the few. A lot of them came out fully armed still, and still didn't get a bullet on them. There was just another murder on the weekend. Older white man shot and killed 6 cops.
Yeah.
Jeez.
6 cops.
Yeah.
He's alive.
Yeah.
The guy that shot the cops is alive.
It's crazy.
6 cops and a dog, a police dog, are dead.
Wow.
Can you
I
imagine
didn't even
that?
hear about that
No,
one.
Exactly. Yeah, they tucked that away nicely.
Crazy.
Because he killed cops. Right?
I think that it's just bound to be that way in the States. The States is built on racism. It was built on slavery of every single culture that they could find. They enslaved those people and made America. And it's one thing that America will not give up. They will not give up their guns. They will not give up the God, and they will not give up power, no matter what. And you think like power is, we have a real weird idea of what power is. You know what I mean? Like, and they always think, well, black power and all that's in the States, like, because we got sports and culture and all these other things that are really irrelevant in life, right? They're just distraction towards what the true power is, right? But I mean, that is so powerful that it can't be stopped, right? Because all those black entertainment channels and musicians and athletes are all owned by white people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
they're
they're still in true control, no matter how much
feeding
money.
you a little bit to keep you busy.
Yeah, you hear about all these black billionaires in the States popping up that can't do anything with their money because they don't have power, right? They can't really make a difference.
I mean, there's a couple of standouts, I think, that can make moves beyond what is considered like normal for an entertainer. Like, I think Jay-Z is probably the most productive out of all the rappers.
What has he done?
Turned billionaires. I mean, he's, the Khalif Browder case in the States.
Yeah.
He was put into Rikers Island
Yeah.
for a nonviolent defense. Rikers, the most dangerous fucking
crazy
prison.
place.
And he was raped in prison. He was beaten and stuff. And eventually his case got overturned. He got released. When he got released, he killed himself because he couldn't get over the trauma of the fucking, what happened to him. Jay-Z did a documentary about it, blew it up, and started to actually make real reforms in a lot of these nonviolent offense cases. So, I mean, there are things being done.
But do they give him that? Do they give him that chip and go, all right, that's cute. Go ahead, Jay. Go write a song and a documentary about it.
But
It's
I mean,
all
at the
good.
end of the day,
we're
like,
not changing the system.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if he gets the chip or not, as long as things are progressing, I guess. Right?
But are they in America? That's the thing.
I mean, that's something that I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, so the fact that even happened in some states is, even if it's minuscule percentage, is a change in the right direction.
They had their first black president ever in 08.
half
Black, whatever. Like, he's a black president, and they fucking inundated him with war to make him look like a fucking asshole. Right? They didn't allow him to really make any social change.
I mean,
whatsoever.
he was an asshole.
He was, anyway, he's a politician.
He's a very well-spoken asshole
Yeah.
with great music taste.
Yeah.
Doesn't change that he's still an asshole. He
good
killed
jump
more
shot.
Muslims than Trump and Bush combined.
They made him go to war, right? Because they couldn't make him seem too powerful. The thing is, just like, you'll get chips and you'll get opportunities in which to look good in front of the camera, but the real power will only happen with a complete takeover of America. The only way that's ever going to happen is if the numbers step up and fucking do something about it. That storming of the Capitol on January 6th was garbage because the wrong people did it.
Crackers.
The wrong people did it.
Stupid.
Yeah.
You're in Washington, one of the most violent cities in America.
Yeah, DC's fucked up.
And it wasn't a single brother in that January 6th thing. Not a single one. They're all just like, oh, you white folks are crazy.
Yeah, you take
It's like,
it.
dude, they're showing you what you need to do.
Okay, now, okay. Let's just say Black America decided to storm the Capitol.
Yeah.
There would be a massacre.
100%.
I don't think so.
Dude, armed forces would light them up.
The armed forces-
They would
quick.
all be dead that quick.
The armed forces are slightly less than half of people of color in America. All right, it's like 40-something%.
Yeah.
And I think that those brown black soldiers would stand with their, if it became a true race war, I think you would see dissension in the army, and I think that it would separate the armed forces. I really do believe it, man.
Damn, that's big.
Well, think about it. Race. So here you are. You're in the army. And all of a sudden, all the Fijians are popping off. and you're like, we're taking it down. Like, we got a million Fijians. We're going to do this. What do?
I'm with my people always.
Right?
Yeah.
And you got to think.
I would never be in the army though. Fuck army.
Yeah, but let's just say you did. Like, you're like, oh shit, tell us, fucking, you know what I mean? It's all over.
What you're describing is pretty much like you want them to pretty much start a coup, right?
Yeah, it would have to. That's the only way America would change. It's the only way it would happen.
Fiji had a coup. Remember when we had their first like Indian president? It's
kind of dangerous.
And then the indigenous people had a coup. They were trying out there to kill him.
Yeah.
And they took back their land. It was crazy.
Yeah.
All the Fijians had to flee because they were fucking
it got a little
killing
dangerous,
people.
man.
America is black. No matter the people who have been there for a long time and passed all that money up to their, those people are just sitting there with the money and no one's really making. Everyone's scared to make some sort of like aggressive move, right? But dude, one aggressive move, like if Tupac was alive right now, man,
It'd be a different world.
Dude, it would be a different world, bro.
Crazy.
He would have created something by now.
100%.
He would have been like, we're not going to live through this. This isn't happening. He'd be like a Louis Farrakhan for like the streets, man. Right? Like he would be for real.
Yep.
Right? It's people like that they take out and they know that are going to be dangerous. That
The Malcolms.
there needs to be these guys, man. Because if you took every city, boom, 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 you just assemble a crack team. Of responsible fucking brothers, right? You know what I mean? Just boom, a crack team, and you just go in. You could do it. You could take over America.
You'd have to be pretty like planned out to do it.
Black
Yeah.
Panther style.
Yeah.
Very sophisticated.
Yeah.
Spanish and black just stepped up.
it
The
would take
Latinos and the black.
Yeah.
Be over.
What about here?
Well, see, I think here the problem is that we're Canadian thinking, right? So there's Canadian thinking. No, like we're Canadians. So there's a fucking weird
Speak for
thing about
yourself.
us. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. You ever bump into someone at the store? Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey,
All the time.
what'd you fucking? And I have to stop you. Like, what are you sorry about? They look at me like, like, what are you sorry about? Sorry for what? How? Excuse me.
Yeah.
But it's a conscious thing, man. You just got to be. Next time you're in that situation, you go sorry. Go, oh, Mike. Yes. What am I sorry for?
Yeah.
Right. Excuse me. I say excuse me now. I fucking consciously. I'm like, no, I'm not saying excuse me. Excuse me. People look at me.
So Canada Day just passed. Did you gig on Canada Day?
It's the one day. I have 3 days of the year I don't gig. Canada Day, Halloween, and New Year's Eve.
Why Canada Day?
Christmas?
I'll gig on Christmas because I don't believe in Christmas. So yeah, I will. But I don't gig on those 3 days.
Why Canada Day?
Douchebags in costumes, douchebags who fucking in tuxedos. Douchebags in Canadian flags, douchebags in costumes.
I thought you were going to say something patriotic. I'm glad you didn't.
Oh, fuck no. I don't believe in anything, right?
Yeah, I know.
But no. I hate the people that go out on those days.
Yeah.
Canada, paint your face, flag around your thing. Oh, Canada.
Yeah.
Taking photos of fireworks. Oh, take a video of a firework. Oh, let me share that. Right?
Yeah.
I used to hate that English way fucking.
Dude!
My friends always wanted to go. I fucking hated it every time, man.
Do you pop off on Canada Day?
Well, we make money on Canada Day. So
Oh,
That's what you gotta do.
We just had our first 2,000 plus person foam party, outdoor foam party.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And it was wild.
That's pretty cool.
Right at the old
Sounds
Plaza of
fits.
Nations. They haven't used that area in a long time.
Foam
So.
parties, those are coming back. eh?
Yeah. So Wreckage MC'd it.
Yeah, I
and
saw
Nikki
that.
DJ'd it. It was great. It was a good. I was in Montreal. I had to see it through my phone, and I was super
Sound
FOMO.
just like I did.
Super FOMO. Yeah. It was great though. Yeah. So, yeah, we make money, so I'm always out working on Canada Day.
Yeah, that's a good way to celebrate it.
100%.
Every
Or
day
we
celebrate
do
it.
both parties or something, charge tickets.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, that's the thing. For promoters,
Yeah.
we love working those
Love
days.
it.
Because
Yeah.
those are days we make money.
Fuck yeah.
Halloween, New
Everyone's
Year's,
off.
biggest money makers.
Biggest money makers, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Everybody's off.
Well, everyone's off, but also the people that never go out are like, yeah, I'll spend $60 on a ticket.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
So
I always feel bad for the DJ if I go to an event. I'll celebrate. I just won't work it. I don't. I'll go out to a Halloween party, right?
Yeah.
No problem. I'll go out to a New Year's Eve party. Of course, I'm not a fucking total
it's just hiding
piece of
with
shit human being, right?
Curl up on a little ball. When
Now!
will it be over?
Oh, you fucking partiers! Meh. Right? Oh, the fireworks are hurting the dog's feelings, man.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
There's a lot of that.
Oversensitive people, man. Yeah. There's shit going on out there.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of that with the dogs. I actually know someone like that. Man, they'll go outside. Stand, I'm like, why would you do that?
That's the face.
Karen.
That's the face.
You're a total Karen. I'm not a Karen. It's like, you're fucking 100% Karen. You know who you are. You aren't watching. Right? But yeah, I know her. It's like, dogs and the animals in the forest are getting stressed out. I'm like, fuck off, bitch. It's one fucking day. It's like fucking 20 minutes of their life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, let people have fireworks.
Dog suicide.
It's a human
epidemic
thing.
because of fireworks.
Jeez.
It's all fucking crazy. Let them have fireworks. They want to fucking shoot fireworks. Let them do it.
It's so weird now because it's like it's become a real polarizing day in Canada, right?
Yeah,
because it's like Indigenous peoples are never gonna celebrate Canada Day. It's like
Yeah, they
fuck Canada Day. It's like Land Back Day
Yeah.
more than anything else.
When is Land Back Day?
Essentially, when Shalita was here, just land back. Just
Yeah.
give the land back, right?
Yeah.
And I know people hear that, they're kind of like, oh, well, how does that work? That's impossible. You can't just give land back.
Just give them $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean, none of those are fixed. None of those things are fixes,
Yeah.
right? They're all just band-aids and hoping that they just get over it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Can't get over genocide when it's like actively happening, right?
Oh, wow.
So they're trying to call it Land Back Day, but it's weird for us as like what's considered the model minority immigrant that comes here and builds a successful life.
Yeah, because we're like, we didn't fuck you over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? Because we're in that weird
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we kind of have to decide if we're with the Indigenous people and you know their fight, or if we're just kind of like, well, yeah, I know it sucks, but my life's pretty good.
No, I think you are the empathizers because you understand what they're going through because your culture has gone through that.
Yeah, it happened to us
And
directly.
that all you can be, it's like the school counselor. School counselor's not on the school side. They're really not on the student side.
Right.
They're there for counseling. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to be that empathetic group of people that is like, you know, we've been there and, you know, you guys just stand together and, you know, unite and get through it like you did. Right?
I think most Indian people are like that.
Yeah.
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 You totally are.
For sure.
There's a capitalist class that's kind of like, I'm making money, I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's lots of that.
I got some of those in my circle as well. It is always hard to have these conversations because
Isn't that always awkward when you like bring up a topic and then you think the whole group is gonna be like for it, and then one guy's like total opposite, like you didn't even see it coming. You're like,
yeah. You learn a lot about people in those kind of situations.
Yeah.
And it's not always great. Because like I get it, hey man, you came here, you built a great life for yourself. That's fantastic, you know. But there's got to be some kind of understanding
yeah.
to what's really going on here.
But it's also good because you kind of learn things about people. Like, for example, when I worked at Flight Center, and the day after Trump won the election, we all went to work, and like 4 of us are sitting there in the morning before having coffee, and we're like, fuck, can you believe Trump won? Like, this is wild. Like, well, what are the chances? Like, is he really the president? This is the guy that got fucking, stunnered on fucking WWE. Like, he's the president now? And then this chick comes in. She was, like, pretty new. She'd probably been there a couple months. So we didn't know her too well. And she's like, how happy is everyone that Mr. Trump won? And we're like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, that bitch Hillary, she bombed our country, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, blown away that like she had this opinion, and we were just like, and then but she explained, she goes, she was from I forget, like she was from somewhere where like Bill Clinton had set up huge fucking bombings and stuff, and a bunch of shit went down back, and her country got affected. And I was like, okay, great, I understand why you're rooting for her, but you don't know who Trump is. This guy's an idiot.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, she's like, I didn't know anything about Trump, but she's like, I just know I hate Hillary.
Right, that's fair. I get that thinking. And I think what happened is that the bar was lowered so far.
Yeah.
Because Barack Obama was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, you hear that motherfucker speaking, it's just like enthralled. Like,
It's awesome.
I want to become an American.
yeah, it's just magic hearing him speak.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And he was a good husband, good father, no scandals, no drama, no issues. And then Trump literally said that he would sleep with his daughter if it wasn't his daughter.
Yeah.
Wild shit, right?
So would I, though, if it wasn't his
But then,
daughter.
and then you still get votes.
That's
Like-
the fucked up part. Like that statement right there, the conversation should be over.
Like,
oh, you
who
wanna fuck
said?
your
Oh
kid?
yeah, mentally this guy's super solid to run the country.
It was, but the election was fixed. Like, if the election was legit, he wouldn't have won. Hillary
but
would
he
have won.
still has supporters. This is the
Massive amount.
massive amount of supporters.
But
which
those
is-
were created by the false marketing of the Russians,
The Russian
and
bots.
the bots. Like that was created. It was like a
Brilliant.
It was brilliant ploy that happened. Like it's if Putin Putin had done anything great in his life, it was fucking getting Trump elected, because it was
part of it.
It was, man. Like you think about like what that would have taken, you know, like. But there's that critical mass that you had to get to. We learned about critical mass with the social media and all that. They had to get that to people liking him at a critical mass point.
Because then you control, like, you convince the nut jobs, and then there's enough nut jobs that the people that are like, hey man, all my neighbors are saying that this is what I should be thinking. Am I the idiot? Okay, fuck it, I'll just join along. And then you're convincing all these people who thought the right shit, but now think they're idiots because they've overpowered by the majority.
And he'll be back in 2024.
That's the word. That's the word.
Right? Wow.
Yeah, he'll be back. And it'll probably be a legitimate vote this time. But I don't think we're ever going to see democracy ever again in our country. That's really not going to happen.
I don't think we've ever had it.
Yeah, I think we lost it somewhere. We don't know when, but I think we lost it somewhere. Probably Obama. I don't know if Obama was legit.
Honestly, I don't think there's ever been a real democracy anywhere.
I don't think so.
Canada's not one. There's no real.
There's no way everyone hates Trudeau and he got a vote at 50.
See, but the system is designed that way, right? The system is designed to keep him in power based on all the other little places where liberals get voted into. So there's no popular vote for an individual. It's a district. It's like, you know, per district that you Canadians do their voting.
Whatever, all this shit. So you really can't have a popular vote.
No, it's messy as fuck, right? And then the Queen's still involved and all that.
I wonder if they're ever going to go to a popular vote. Do you think they'd ever change that?
It would make sense. I think the problem is that the Bloc Québécois would have a big fucking problem with that.
Yeah.
The people in Quebec would not be having it because they would be essentially eliminated from the conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it would become like the US where the coastal cities get the biggest representation because, you know, obviously BC and Ontario have the biggest populations, right?
Yeah.
So it would become like an east-west.
Yeah, so you're pretty much everyone that's like middle Canada, I guess what you call it, wouldn't have much of a vote.
They'd vanish, become destitute like Americans. Crazy. Especially Alberta, that'd be fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Because they got all the guns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they don't give a fuck because Alberta's fucked. Like, they're fucked for centuries.
They're the rednecks of Canada.
100%. Yeah. And, you know, the land is fucked for hundreds of years now. They sucked it dry. Nothing's going to happen there at all. Yeah. Beef industry is going to be dead soon because nobody wants beef anymore. So it's going to be a dark place.
Fuck beef. Fucking beef.
Do you eat meat?
I do eat meat. I don't really eat beef. I never really grew up on it. I've had it. I'm not a big fan. But technically, as a Hindu, I shouldn't eat it. So I just never grew up on it.
Big one. Fucking Hindu eat beef. That's like the cardinal sin, right?
Was that hard growing up Hindu, like in Vancouver? Or?
No, I mean like
eating-wise, food-wise?
No, like, I mean, it's just the beef, right? Everything else, chicken, fish, everything else goes. So, like, yeah.
And your family's open to it as well?
Yeah. Poultry, whatever, That's what we grew up on, so.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Because I know a lot of Hindus that just stick to the strict vegetarian diet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have like my mom and her sister and like my cousins, like all these guys veggies their entire life.
Yeah.
But they also now are the ones having all the fucking stomach issues.
Oh, really?
Right? So, like, my mom, she has Crohn's disease.
No enzymes.
You know, and, like, I'm like, Mom, like, fucking told vegetables. You, like, fucking eat a fucking egg once in a while. Like, do something, you know? Like, get some protein in.
Yeah, the problem is the lack of variety in their foods.
Lack of variety. You eat the same shit. You're eating rice every day. You're eating whatever. Like, some of the same 6 vegetables or whatever.
Yeah, no, your body needs everything, man.
Yeah, that's the one thing I always think about, like, I worry. I eat fish, though, right? So I make sure I get some protein and stuff in my diet.
Oh, are you just, pescatarian, I guess?
Yeah, pretty much pescatarian.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, I just don't eat any turf or anything. I stopped eating. Well, I said in my 40s I was going to stop eating meat, right? So that was my 40s, and then my 50s is sugar. I'm going to cut out sugar for the rest of my life.
Crazy.
Have you seen that Seaspiracy?
Yeah.
And you can still eat fish?
You know, fish is the closest animal to our DNA structure as a human being, so I think that it's the least harmful on your body in the long run. I think that you know, a lot of the fish probably in our future is going to be gone.
100%. Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be eating any wild fish ever. It's going to be all test tube fucking farm fish. Yeah. And I think our bodies will just adapt and evolve to it. You know, the same with beef and chicken and everything. Eventually, they're going to have to stop raising beef and chicken. Like, we can't afford to keep doing this.
It's going to be all plant-based shit.
It's going to be all plant-based. So you look at Vancouver already saying that 40% of menus have to be plant-based in the next year or two.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in downtown Vancouver, they're saying that it's going to be mandatory plant-based items on your menu. It's the vegan fucking Nazis that are coming out to try to change everything. And I hate vegans. Like, I don't care if you're a vegan and you hate me right now. I vegan
My
to
younger
me,
brother's full vegan.
yeah, and I like him though. He's a good guy, right? But the vegan concept to me is like the iPhone concept, right? Or the
drive.
Tesla,
Right.
It's like, oh, I got a Tesla. Fucking cares? I
It's
don't
the
care
cool
if you got a
factor,
Tesla.
right? It's the
Yeah.
cool factor.
Oh, you got an iPhone? No. Oh, you're an Android.
Oh,
I get that look all the time.
Yeah,
Android.
right.
All androids in this room.
Right?
Yeah.
Go out to a restaurant. Oh, I'm vegan. You look at the menu. I'm vegan. Why don't
have
you
a
just keep it
vegan
to
menu?
yourself and order a
Is
vegetarian
there a
meal?
vegan section at the
Yes. Yes, dude. So people are like, "Oh, you're vegan? No. You want to try to fight me? Like, is that what this is? Like, don't fucking ever say that to me. You might as well just kick my mother in the testicles, right? Like, don't ever call me a vegan."
Well, it's just this another version of the same like sex comment we're talking about. Like, what sex are you?
Yeah.
You're transgender and all this.
Yeah.
It's like, people look down on you because you're doing something else,
Yeah.
or like judge you or ask you why. Like, why the fuck's it to you? Like,
Yeah.
Like,
I still have a problem with your mom having testicles, though.
Yeah, well, mom's
Not a good look.
Mom's a good sport. She's a good old lad. Right.
Okay, so
But
now-
I miss ribs.
Oh,
Oh fuck, man.
like beef ribs.
I miss them, man. Those are some good fucking days. Meat ribs.
Interesting.
Yeah, like the McRib. Like, it was gross, the McRib at McDonald's, but fuck, I miss it anyway.
what would make you
Eat
reeat
meat?
one? Yeah.
Being trapped on a fucking deserted island with nothing else.
okay.
Having to go to. Have you ever watched the show Alone?
No.
Oh, have you ever watched the show? Oh man, you got to check this show out. So it's a show. It's got like 15 seasons now, and what they do is they take predominantly white people and they put them in the middle of fucking nowhere and say survive. And the person who lasts the longest wins like $1 million.
Oh, like almost like a Survivor.
Yeah, only this is real. So they're like, drop you off,
Survivor's
survive.
not real.
Right.
What?
There's no supplies on this one.
Okay.
No, nothing.
Yeah, you're just left to die.
But you get like a bow and arrow, you get like an axe, a knife, you know,
shit.
and they drop you and they're like survive. And then you get a radio, it's all filmed, right? And you got a radio, and if I give up, right? Then you just call in and they send a chopper and they
come
pick
save
you up.
you.
And whoever's the longest, stays the longest, wins the money, right? And it's really predominantly like people
There are
who
15 seasons of the show. I've never heard of it.
yeah, it's called Alone. It's just called Alone. But majority of people are like,
white.
yeah, they look like their brother and sister could be the mother and father. You know what I mean, of their life. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, dude, brown people not fucking with that shit.
no, there's very
No,
seldom. And
man.
if there is brown people, they're fucking out real quick. They're like, they're not making it
I want
No.
my bed
a
back.
couple weeks,
Yeah,
right?
no,
They're just like,
no.
where's the skip?
Man,
There's no skip out here,
camping in
motherfucker.
tents, man.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, I really want to go to a city without a resort. Like,
yeah,
Dude, there are some guys that are like, how do you know this? They like build huts and like a stove.
that's
I
wild.
was like, what?
yeah.
And they know what berries and shit to eat. I'm like, what? And they're shooting, and they're like shooting chipmunks with a bow and arrow. So, bang, right into the chipmunk. I mean,
That's
dude, I
kinda
could
wild.
hit a fucking giant target with a bow and
I
arrow.
wouldn't want to eat a chipmunk, poor guy.
Dude, and you gotta gut it
They're
and
so
eat
cute
it.
and shit. Like,
I could do the gutting it part. I've done all that shit before.
Right, watch Alone. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Do you think you could survive if we're all fucked? Do you think you're
I don't
surviving?
think
Okay.
the three of us for sure.
Yeah.
So I think the only thing that I would have problems with is the killing and the making of. But mentally, I could go forever. Mentally, I can make it.
The solo part of it would be fine for you.
Oh yeah, mentally, fucking no showering, no shaving, just like fucking straight meditation and masturbation. And, you know, like turn that camera off. I'm trying to
Mandatory
get
ends.
through my time. 5 minutes goes by. Fuck, now what do I do? Damn, right? survive.
How long do you think you last?
Oh,
There's nothing left. It's just you in the wild.
yeah, I'd rather just die. Like, just, fuck it. There's no. I just probably start eating all the fucking berries and shit. One of them is gonna
Kill you.
right
Oh, yeah,
off the bat.
in the show they showed a guy he caught a beaver.
Damn.
I'm like,
Oh
you can
my-
eat fucking beaver? I'm
Oh my
like,
God.
he catches. He's like, yeah. He holds up the camera, this carcass of the beaver. Right? He goes and carves it out, takes all it out, and strips it down and smokes it. So he had smoked beaver.
Has anyone on the show like almost died and they've had to
Yeah.
just rescue them?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch the show,
Damn.
man. It's trippy because
That's
you're like
crazy.
you
Because
do
like
this?
until that happens, you're like it's all fake. If they're all just like, hey, send me home. Whatever.
like these guys setting traps for
But I'll
like
see some guy
squirrels.
like eat a berry and he's like, oh, this is
And
poisonous.
die.
Like peeling over. Like yeah, that's when I want to see
Oh yeah,
that.
there's one guy who had like contaminated meat and he was trying to tough it out, but
That's horrible, dude. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Could you guys do insects if you had to?
yeah,
Insects, yeah.
yeah.
I mean crickets and shit.
Oh shit, eh?
Yeah.
What's
Like-
the craziest thing you've eaten?
Probably cricket, yeah.
Oh, cricket, live cricket, or
Or
is it like chocolate covered or something?
No, just like roasted crickets.
Roasted cricket.
Fucking tastes like nothing. It's
Tastes
like tastes like
nothing.
chips.
Yeah,
That's so
I
fucking
ate frog
weird.
legs. I ate snake. I've eaten.
Oh, I've had snake.
Yes, I've had crocodile
Crocodile.
or alligator
Damn,
or whatever.
son.
Yeah, I've had like. Oh man,
There's
I had
a place
it all.
here in like Cole
Yeah,
Harbor they serve
remember?
crocodile.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. It was like an oyster spot and they used to have crocodile on the menu.
I don't know if you had that. One of those places in the '90s. I don't know if you remember. It was called Pounders. No, you guys didn't have that. You had it over here. It was called something else. So you would go in there and you'd grab your food, and then they take it to a scale and weigh it.
Oh, yeah.
And then you pay for how much it weighs, right?
Okay.
And there would be like a buffet of like meat and vegetables
Yep.
and everything. And so the one we had in Victoria was really super fucked up. And you would go there and it was like alligator, monkey, fucking
Oh,
llama. Like, oh yeah, you'd have all these exotic meats.
Wait, these are cooked or not cooked?
Well, so it's not cooked, and you take it and they stir fry
So
it.
it's
Kinda
like
like
Mongolian.
yeah, like
Like
Mongolian
Mongolian grill, right? And then it's by the pound. So I like, oh, I'm gonna try this and this. And, you know,
Ugh.
mixing alligator and fucking monkey. Don't ever do that. It's disgusting. Right
sounds
with
hor- sounds
cabbage
horrible.
and like onions and mushroom.
When I was in Japan, my cousin ate whale.
Oh,
And like me and my other cousins were like, yo, bro. He's like, well, fucking, it's not
illegal
legal
or
here.
something, yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm like,
It's hard.
that's
I kind of
hard.
want to Instagram you doing that. Like, I don't get yelled at.
Canceled so fast.
Eating whale.
So that's the weirdest thing you've eaten? Frog legs?
Monkey, the guy just had monkey.
Yeah, like I had like
Dude, wouldn't it be like
alligator.
eating human?
It's like chicken.
Wouldn't eating monkey be like eating a human?
I guess it's just like pork. Everything's like pork to me. It's all like fucking pork.
Never
The
had
worst
it.
animal.
Never
I
had
hate
it,
pork.
thankfully. Brown
What?
people don't do pork.
No, it's gross.
I do pork. I mean, like, as a Hindu, I do pork. Like, Muslims don't do pork,
Oh.
right? Yeah.
I know a lot of Sikhs that fuck with pork either.
Yeah, they do.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's just one of those weird cultural animals that were like taught to like.
Like, well, when I grew up, my parents were like, it's dirty. It's a dirty animal. Do not eat it. But then I was in high school. I'm like, this is delicious.
Yeah, it's good. Pork's actually good. Like bacon and shit. It's actually good. Like it's so bad.
you know
for
why
that
we're
it's
told
so
not
good.
to eat it?
Huh?
Because it's the animal that was used to clean the ark, Noah's Ark.
What?
All the animal waste.
Yeah.
Pigs were used to clean all the animal waste.
Jesus Christ.
So essentially, they were
Fucking
forbidden
Bible.
because they are the waste eaters.
Crazy.
Which is weird because they eat their own waste as well.
Goddamn Bible's fucked up, eh? The fucking story.
The Quran has the same story.
Oh, the story? Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, same story, just different names.
Yeah.
We don't call him Noah. We just Arabic-ize his name.
Oh.
But speaking of names, the name of your company.
Okay, Tubbs Entertainment?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, we kind of touched on this conversation last time, and I asked you why they call you Tubbs Entertainment, and you made it very easy. And with your answer, do you think it's detrimental to you having that name?
No, I think it's memorable. I think, like, after doing this for so long, I realized people didn't give a fuck what the name was. You could be fucking, you know, this production company, that entertainment company, this whatever. You could come up with something really cool, but unless your parties were kick ass, nobody gave a fuck what
Yeah.
the fuck the name was. It didn't matter how cool it was or how stupid it was. There's like an Asian company named like C1 Productions. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Who knows? But they kill it. You know, there's another company called Gloria Entertainment. And I was like, which one's Gloria? And they're like, we don't have a Gloria. It's all dudes. I'm like, what?
What?
Wild, bro. Cool. I'm like, which one is Gloria? They're like, no, there's no one named Gloria. I'm like, all right.
So what if you decided to go on the Chris Hemsworth diet and just get fucking shredded?
Yeah, so it ruined my brand.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, yeah, I guess. I mean, but I feel like if you've called me Tubbs for over a decade, I mean, I'm sure you'd.
It's a standard now.
It's gonna stick, right? Like, I mean, it's almost 2 decades to be honest. I've had the
Damn.
nickname
Wow.
Tubby since grade 6. And then it only changed over to Tubbs when I was like 19, 20, which has now also been like 15 years.
Wow,
shit.
that's awesome, man. Good for you.
Yeah, so
almost
just
20 years.
and like my first company was like Black Diamond Promotions, and then I worked for a couple other Empire Entertainment, worked for a bunch of other companies, and then when I decided to re-get into it, and I was like thinking of a name, and one of my mentors go to me, he goes, "Man, no one's gonna give a fuck what your name is." He's like, "They're here to party with you," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna name it after myself." So it's Tubbs Entertainment. It's me.
It's a good
I hired
name.
a couple of DJs, and then we just started throwing parties. And then we started building promoters. And this is where it did get a little detrimental, because when you have a big enough group, or like when you start recruiting more people, they're not as bought into the name as maybe you are, because they're like, well, you're Tubbs. You know, like, you know, when they're saying Tubbs Entertainment, they're talking about you specifically, not a group. But that's why I make it very, very predominant, so make sure like entertainment isn't everything, so people know it's the entertainment company. Even when we do shout outs, when we have signs that come out or anything like that, it's always Tubbs Entertainment. So now even my MCs, my DJs, everyone drop it with confidence, because now they're bought in. You know? Sometimes maybe the newer guys not so much, but
yeah. And I think that's one thing that you do really, really well is obviously you've branded yourself, but you go out of your way to make sure that your artists that are on the entertainment roster get seen all the time.
All the time. I try to not put my face in anything that's Tubbs Entertainment branded. So even when like people are tagging me on stuff, like I won't repost it if like my face is in it. I'll only repost it if it's like Nicky's in it, you know, Prince is in it, Wreckage is in it, all our guys are in it, whatever. Right?
Yeah, that's huge, man. Because for a lot of years in this city, especially, the promoters became so the face of what they were doing that the artist didn't matter, the art didn't matter, the work didn't matter. Just their name on shows is all that mattered. And it kind of became like a self-grandizing, like I'm the party.
Totally.
It was a self-glossing, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Right. It's to pump your own ego up, stroke your own self, whatever it is. I wanted to kind of do the reverse, so make it about the team, even though my name is what's pushing it, right? So
where does that mentality come from, though?
Just like I've seen a lot of selfish motherfuckers in this industry, and you know what? Like there's not a lot of shelf life. I've seen people come and go. Like I said, I've been doing this for 15 years, and the amount of entertainment companies I've worked with one-offs, weeklies, nightlies, whatever, people don't last forever. And I'm not saying that maybe I won't last forever. Knock on wood. Hopefully, we do. But like I just feel like I've always wanted to do whatever's best for longevity. Whether that comes to making sure this relationship isn't tarnished, or not burning any bridges, or whatever it is. It's always been about longevity, and I always use that with my guys as well. That's about longevity.
It's huge.
Yeah, that's really good. And I think like staying to be able to go for a long time is you always have to kind of flip the game, like flip the script a lot, right? You have to come up with new and innovative things, right? And sticking to the brand, but also coming out with new things. How do you find that? Like, how do you?
Well, I mean, you just have to.
Like, do you search for your new acts like all the time, or are you?
No, not necessarily. Like, honestly, like I have a couple of my core guys that I've used for a really long time. And I have the guys that I trust and are the ones that are on me with every single show. But then we always like, bring in guests that we want to use. And then the people that we really mesh with, we'll keep them around more, or we'll book them more. Like, for example, there's this girl named KG Fresh. I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah, she's dope.
She's dope. She's DJ. She's lesbian. She's part of that whole group. Like, and, I met her through Wreckage. She's friends with her. They'd only shown us since Edmonton and stuff. And she literally only started DJing 3 years ago. She just saw, that it was really cool. She went to Table Tutors. She learned how to DJ. Shout out Table Tutors.
Dope.
She learned how to DJ, and then she started doing small gigs here and there. She started getting her first residency at cinema, and then she always asked us, like, hey, when can I spin for you guys? And we'd book her in here and there. She'd do, like, the back room at Cabana. We'd get her into guest DJ here and there, maybe some private events, stuff like that. And she's like, hey, I want to be part of the team. I want to be part of the team. And I told her, I'm like, when I have enough gigs for you, like, we'll get you part of the team. But this year we were actually able to bring her on, like, become part of the roster, and she's like our first female DJ now. She's our first, like,
killing,
and she's killing it, and she
booked all the time.
Like I actually just wrote her bio today, and I was just talking about how she's played at some of the top clubs in Vancouver, like 12 West, Cinema, Cabana, Hello Goodbye, Karma Lounge. And she also has played for like corporate gigs like Adidas Canada. She has a gig like a contract with F45 in Brentwood, where she plays all their gigs. And now she's starting to get flown out to like Winnipeg and other places in Canada to do their Pride events.
That's where it's at.
And so like in her bio, like we wrote that, like, now she's accepting gigs to all these Pride events, and we'd love to get her to do more Pride events in the States now. So that's our next goal for her, and I'm helping her do that, right?
Big.
So like that's my thing. Like I want to bring in these people, but I also don't want to just tag my name onto people if I can't help them.
Facts.
Right? Like I've seen tons of people like that. Like, okay, you're part of under my crew or on my roster. I've signed a contract, but now I give you 1 gig a month. Like, what the fuck is that?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's just hoarding talent.
That's just hoarding talent. Like
Yeah.
I told her, I'm like, if somebody else gives you a better weekly or whatever that I can't provide right now, just go for it, right? But she's like, no, I want to be with you. And now we're doing like at least 5, 6, 7 gigs a month. Like we're trying to get her more consistent.
Just regular income. Yeah.
And
Cool.
and that's what I want, right? And I don't stop her from taking gigs with anybody else. I'm like, hey, any other work you get, make
Do
money,
it.
right? Do your thing, right? Exactly. But wherever I can help you, like, use us. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's go. Are these DJs like full-time DJs or most of your guys?
Most of them, some of them have like small part-time day jobs and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but most of them, like, honestly, Vancouver is pretty lucrative for the DJ market. Like,
yeah, it is.
Crazy.
like if you're making 200 to maybe 350, $400 a gig, and you're booked up 4 or 5 times a week,
It's amazing.
you're making like $1,000 to $1,500 a week.
Yeah.
You do that over 4 weeks.
It's
and,
great,
you're
man.
making
It's
4 to
full-time
6 grand
income.
Yeah.
a month. Why do you need to do whatever? Yeah, go
Yeah.
be like DJ Nicky. Go to a gym 2 times a day. And, crack out 3 gigs back to back to back.
Yeah,
in the evening.
that dude is always in shape.
That guy's
Man is
gymming, and
ripped.
then he'll
Who's that?
go.
DJ Nicky.
So
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
he's,
I
one
heard
of,
DJ Nicky.
he's one of my like old school guys. Like he's been with me for over a decade.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he's solid. I actually found him at Brentwood Mall DJing for a pair of jeans, and I was like, "Yo, man, when you're old enough, you gotta get you in the club." And we brought him in. He was my 3rd string DJ.
That's crazy.
He played for a $50 bar tab for 2 years.
Wow.
And then now
Put
he's
in
been doing
work.
like international gigs. He just spent COVID for almost a year and maybe 3 months in Mexico playing at clubs there because he's like, fuck it, there's nothing going on here.
Wow.
And like, so now he'll do like, on a Friday night, he'll do like a boat party, or he'll go to the gym and then he'll do like a boat party. Then he'll go to like Enzo, which is a different club, pay the
Yeah.
opener, and then he'll come play at Cabana, do the late. And I'm like, bro, you just raked in like, probably $600 to like $900,
Wow.
like doing a whole bunch of gigs
Good
in
for
one
him,
day,
man.
right? And he does that. He has a residency at Gallery on Thursdays and Sundays. He's doing a bunch of guest spots at like 12 West and Garfinkel's, a bunch of places on Saturdays. Like he's always working, and I'm like,
Good for him.
this is why you live in Yaletown.
Yeah, he lives it.
It's a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
hustle, right?
He's like the one guy that's like 100% nightlife DJ, and that's it.
He's
And
in it.
and he creates music and stuff now too.
Right.
So
Right.
he's doing all that.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're trying to do with High Phrase as well. Trying to make sure we surround ourselves with as much talent as possible.
Yeah.
We've been pretty fortunate. We've had a lot of dope people come through here,
Yeah.
be a part of the show. And now with High Phrase Live coming up with Tubbs Entertainment,
Yes.
I think we're going to be able to do
July
something,
28th.
something pretty
Yeah.
significant.
It's gonna be great going to Levels Nightclub. I haven't been there forever, man. And when we went and did the walkthrough on that, it's so nice what you've done in
Yeah.
that place and what those guys have done, right? Like just what you've created there. You can feel it, even though there was nobody in there when we got there. It was
Yeah.
all
Pre-club.
pre-club or whatever.
Yeah.
There was a vibration
You knew the
in that
energy
room.
was coming.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude, you can feel it. Like that place is so wide open
buzzing.
for.
So this
Yeah.
last Thursday, like we had our last event there when I was in Montreal, and they had 1,200 people show up outside.
Damn.
We had to turn away almost 300 to 400 people.
Wow, at Levels.
At
That's
Levels.
that's Club Mumbai, right?
Yeah, Club Mumbai.
Oh, that was Club
Ooh.
Mumbai.
Club
Oh, because
Mumbai. We do our
Buddy
Thursday
was in
events
town, wasn't he?
No, that was a few weeks ago.
That
We
was a
did
few
Diljit,
weeks ago?
Diljit,
yeah.
But it was just like because it was right before Canada Day, everybody had a holiday.
Oh, wow.
nice. So
then.
Levels the spot, huh?
It's just nuts.
Yeah.
Like it's just nuts.
That's
yeah.
crazy. So how many nights per week is Tubbs doing nights?
So right now, we obviously do our Friday, Saturday nights at Cabana Lounge.
Right.
That's our hip hop. It's our bread and butter. Been there for 7-8 years now.
Damn. It's a long time, man.
Yeah, it's me
For
and my
one
partner, Jag.
production company to be there for that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Well,
crazy.
when I came in, I was like the sub of the sub and made like $70 a night, and and then they started realizing I was bringing just as many people as like the main promoters, and then they gave me like half a night. Then they gave me my own night. They gave me only the Friday, and then we just built our way that they can't get rid of
Took
us
it.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they just
Yeah.
can't because
This,
like
now you've been doing this for so long. Is there some stressful times though? Still,
absolutely.
Like, is the stress constant?
it's constant, and you just gotta balance it.
You just
right?
gotta balance
That's the thing.
it.
Like you gotta know that it's gonna come, prep for it mentally,
Yeah.
and just know like, hey, okay, like let's just find the solution, because that's the only way to get around it. If you're gonna stress out every single time that something's gonna go wrong, this is not for you. It's like if you were a wedding planner and like every time something hit the fan, which you know in a wedding something's gonna hit the fan, and you were stressed out. Guess what? Your client's gonna be even more stressed out than you are.
For sure.
So
Disaster.
as the promoter, I'm just like, okay, well, what's the solution? Anybody got any ideas? No. Okay, well, fuck it. We gotta eat shit. You know, whatever it is. You know, whether if something's not working, so this, like, you just gotta roll with a bunch of.
So how do you drive the numbers that you guys do consistently?
I think just we built a really good brand. I think also like right now it's a little bit of luck. Right now it's the post-COVID like hunger. Like everybody wants to party. You know, like it's a little bit of that like we're kind of like feeding off of, and we've just been able to provide a really good service.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, so we have weekly talks with our like bottle girls or security staff, whatever it is, however we can support them to just make sure that we have. You know, a good product and people keep coming back. And like I said, again, it's the longevity, it's the relationships,
it's
right?
recognizable
So
now.
I've been in clubs where like, do you have a bad experience? Like I won't mention the name, but I've been to a club in Vancouver where I'm like, hey man, I'm pretty sure we had like half a bottle left. Like, you know, I saw her pour at half. She never came back. Like, what's going on? And they're just like, no man, you guys drank it. Get out. We're like,
Whoa.
like, but can I like talk to the chick? Like, I'm pretty sure. Like,
Yeah.
no, we're gonna resell this table. You guys drank everything. Like, you guys done. I'm like. And like they knew like I work in the industry and all that too, and I was just like, well, I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me go talk to your manager or whatever. Well, I knew the guy, but I was just like, I was like, all right, man, if that's how it is, cool. But it's just like I'm pretty sure like we could have had a better conversation around this, and maybe fucking I didn't see it, and maybe someone fucking domed the whole thing. Who knows? Whatever.
Now you're never going back.
Yeah.
Like the guy whose birthday was that we took there, he's just like, bro, this is the worst experience. We should just gone to your club anyways. I'm like, I told you.
Yeah, for real, man.
The only reason we didn't go is he goes, man, we're at fucking your spot every week. He's like, it's my birthday. I want to do something different.
Fair.
Cool, let's go. Let's do it. And then he was like, no, man, fuck it.
We
And then we
should've
went back for
stayed.
the last like hour and a half. We went back to my spot anyway. He's like, man, this is home. And I'm like, I told you.
So do you feel like people have really changed over, you know?
So there's a couple of things that changed for sure. One, people freaking forget how to behave now. I think people have been so stuck. We were just talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
People have been stuck in their homes for 2 years and have as minimal interaction with other humans as possible.
Yeah.
So guess what? You've now, one, forgotten how to behave. You're a little bit more anxious. You're a little bit more ruder. You're a little bit more demanding. All these type of things is what I'm seeing in the crowd, you know? Like I've had people come up to me at 1 a.m. with 15 people and like, yo man, get me a table. And I'm like, well,
There's one,
we're sold
yeah.
out. Like, come on, bro, move someone. I'm like, what do you mean move someone?
Wow,
Like, if you were
entitled.
sitting there, would I move you? Like, come on, bro.
The entitlement.
Right, the entitlement,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll figure something out. I'm like, do you want me to build you a table? Like, I don't know. What are you asking me? He's like, why didn't you tell me sooner? He's like, well, we just decided right now.
Well, that's too bad.
Pre-COVID,
Yeah.
you could do that. You could walk into a club at 1, probably be a spot or 2 left. Maybe there weren't great tables or whatever, but you could probably figure out. Now, the post-COVID, it's so busy. I don't got a table for you at 1 a.m. If you don't let me know and you don't pre-book it, I can't help you, and I'm sorry. And like some people get like, oh man, you're not taking care of me. I'm like, bro, I want to. I
so
just don't
wrong.
know what I can do, right? And so
Yeah.
that's where they're done. You know, you just shake it off and you're like, hey man, I'm sorry. Like next time, let me know. And some people get better. Some people are like, hey man, I want to let you know today's Tuesday. Like I'm coming Saturday. Like sort me out. And then, dude, I had like last week I had this girl like message me on a Saturday around like 7 or 8 p.m. and she's like, please don't like get mad, but is there a table tonight? Like my hands are trembling typing this. And I'm like, why are you scared? And she's like, well, I know you don't like last minute. I'm like, this ain't last minute. 7 p.m. before we open ain't last minute. You calling me at 1 and telling me you're going with a big group, that's last minute. She's like, oh, okay. So I'm okay. I'm like, you're fine, girl. Don't worry, I'll take care of you.
And that's still pretty. That's still pretty
pretty
last
good.
minute.
I mean, I could have been sold out, but I luckily had a table
That's
for her.
just someone who's been used to rejection. She's probably like, be like, oh, she's got PTSD from it, right?
PTSD, like, this guy's gonna yell at me, right? Yeah. So well, there's that. Okay, and then the other thing is, there's a ton of 21-year-olds that come clubbing
yes.
who are actually 19-year-olds because they haven't gone out in 2 years.
Oh,
So you have this
yes.
whole demographic of 19, 20, and 21-year-olds that have never been out in public
Oh,
drinking.
man. Yeah, I never
And they
thought
don't know
about
how to
that.
behave, right? So honestly, like
douchebags
we
in
don't even have
training.
no, it's not even that, bro. Honestly, I thought the problem would be like a lot of people get in fights and blah blah blah. It's not that. We're not getting as many fights as we did before. Honestly, people have actually calmed down. But the people that have forgotten or don't know how to drink in public are getting so intoxicated, they're like falling asleep at their booth. They're throwing up everywhere. There's one day we had 7 throw-ups. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
That's
Like, why are we
Party
overserving these
foul.
people? And the girls are like, we are not overserving. I don't know what's going on. But these people, because they're first time in the club, fucking the lights, the cameras, they're, oh my God, it's amazing. Cheers. Shot. Like,
shots.
4th tequila shot in, you're fucking blasted, you're throwing up, right? So, you know.
Wow.
Because you
that's
think about
true.
that versus like a house party environment, which is a lot more calm.
Yeah.
You know, you're just like, you're
more
going
sophisticated, kind of.
right?
Yeah.
If you've never been in this environment, you don't really know.
Dude,
Yeah.
the public vomiting thing?
That's just weird.
Nuts, bro. I've never dealt with this in my life, this much vomiting.
Oh, that's fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's so true, though. Like, if you think about it, people have been just kind of cooped up and, you know, weed was legalized during COVID,
Yeah.
right? So everyone just took off with the weed smoking.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
really drink for so long. No one was needing to drink.
Yep.
Solo drinking, I guess, you know.
Solo drinking, so you're not drinking that much.
You're not drinking that much, and then boom, they hit the club, right? They're looking good. Their adrenaline's pumping. They think they can do more than they can.
Yeah, you're trying to impress this chick, or the chick's trying to impress
gross.
herself, or whatever. Like,
Dude,
you know.
people should get beat up when they throw up. It should be the thing. Like,
Yeah. Well, in the beginning,
clean it up and we beat you
Yeah,
up.
the
kind of
point
thing,
to
right?
clean up your own stuff.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
they're not doing shit.
Yeah,
You're lucky if they
no.
can walk themselves out.
Yeah. 100%.
But no, this is the thing. In the before, we'd be kind of compassionate. You know, let's get you some
Yeah.
water. Let me get you a bucket.
Yeah.
Blah blah. Because it would happen like once in a while.
Yeah.
One time, right?
Yeah.
But now we're just like, okay, toss them.
Yeah,
out.
toss
What
them
is
out.
happening, you know?
You guys should
Like,
create a wall of shame and take pictures of them.
oh, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, take pictures of them
The
after they vomited, so
barfers.
next time they come back, they know how to act.
Oh my god.
Because there's
That's
too much of
great.
that
I
shit.
love putting people on blast. Honestly,
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
That'd
It'd be
be
fun. It'd be fun to see. So if you get drunk at a Tubbs Entertainment event,
Yeah.
Blast.
yeah, and you vomit,
Yeah.
we're gonna create a vomit wall of
Oh,
fame.
That's
Fame.
great.
It'd be
The
amazing.
wreckage will fucking point you out every single time.
Yes.
There's the puker right there. Give it up for the puker.
Good.
Actually, a great idea.
Yeah.
I love it.
Get ready, you vomiters. So we normally wrap up with a couple of very specific high phrase questions.
Yeah, but what else are you doing though? Like you got what
Yeah,
else besides?
so,
what
so
other-
okay, so we have our Friday, Saturday. We have our Club Bombay on Thursdays.
Yeah.
We are just starting a Wednesday night tomorrow with Elite Entertainment. So Elite Entertainment is a modeling agency of like models. They're extremely beautiful. So they're going to be hosting our nights every Wednesday. We're doing $150 bottles over there at Cabana as well. And then starting tomorrow as well, we're doing a bi-weekly boat party. So we're starting to do boat parties
Oh,
for the
that's
summer.
pretty
So we
cool.
have about 5 or 6 lined up for the summer.
Is that hip hop boats or what's the music and
So
everything?
it's going to be a mixture. There's going to be one level that's going to be like EDM, house, all that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then one level is going to be hip hop,
Oh,
R&B,
that's
all
pretty
that.
slick, man. I might
So
actually
about
come on
200
that.
people. Yeah, come on, man.
I'll get
It's
a
going to be
bunch of
every other
girls.
Wednesday. So tomorrow's the first one. Next one's on the 20th. And then we have 3 dates in August. as
Oh,
well.
that's dope. I'm gonna
Pop
actually
it.
hit you up.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
a bunch of
absolutely.
girls I might want to go out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So yeah, so we're trying to do new things like that. We also there's one event that I was going to hit you guys up about as well. So July 15th, we're doing a networking event. So it's going to be 200 people from the music, film, tech, and hospitality space.
Oh, dope.
Oh, dope.
It's a open bar. It's gonna have a beer pong tournament. It's gonna be casual networking, house party style.
Dope.
And then we're gonna have like 3 or 4 VIPs, like high level VIPs from each of those industries that people can network with.
Oh, that's
So
dope.
like from the film industry, we have like a talent agent, we have like a casting agent, things like that. From the music industry, we have some high level producers who are like produce like some big bangers. And then like same thing, hospitality, tech space.
That's
what it is.
amazing.
So
Dope.
yeah, I'll let you guys know about that. The ticket is like I think $65 or $70, but because it's open bar, it's worth it.
It's nonstop.
Yeah, you get a couple of phone numbers and you have a smash couple of drinks. You know.
I got to work downtown that day till 4.
Yeah, so it starts 4 to 10.
Oh, so I can even come by. Oh, I think. Oh, and are you doing your thing on the?
That's Friday?
15th,
Yeah, it's Friday the 15th.
I'll probably be off at like 5:30ish.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
dude. We can fucking
So you guys
make
can
this
do it,
happen.
yeah.
We have a few hours to come.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll send
yeah.
you guys the invite. Check it out if it's
Dope.
Steve's. They're also gonna have like appies and stuff like that. It'll be cool little thing. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the guy throwing it, his name is Jared. He is the marketing director for EDM.com.
Sweet.
So
What's EDM.com?
it's
Electronic
music?
dance music.
electronicdancemusic.com.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
like, yeah, so he's
How the hell do you get EDM.com?
Fuck, he just got
He got
lucky.
in early as fuck.
Yeah, he got
then.
early.
No,
Yes.
he works for them. Like he was a sales agent for them a long time. And
Yeah,
they
but
worked
to get that web name,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
to get the
I feel like they probably had it. No?
fuck, that's
that's
money.
that's good.
That's a
Yeah.
great one.
Before the music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably before, right?
Yeah.
When they were playing, I'm Mr. Vane. I know what I want and I want it now, right? Boom, EDM.com, bro.
Yeah,
It's going to be
They
huge.
just sent him to like something like 40 festivals over the last year
Oh,
to
that's
go
good.
film and document and interview like a bunch of DJs. Like he has like a dream
Slick.
job.
Damn.
Yeah, so he's in town for.
man.
He's from Van. He's in town for the next 2 weeks, so we collabed on this event together. So.
That's great, man.
Yeah,
That's
and of
great
course the
stuff.
after party will be a cabana. So
That sounds like a good night.
yeah, so it'll be a good time.
Dope. All right, yeah, I'm fucking totally down for that. Yeah.
Yeah, so those
That's
are the
fun,
cool
man.
different things we were doing this summer. Like I wanted to kind of diverge just from doing club stuff. I want to do more networking events. I used to own a company called Vancity Startup Hub where we used to do just events for entrepreneurs. So that's where my passion for that kind of comes from.
Cool.
So yeah, we sold it for a good coin, and you know.
So if you weren't doing this, what would you want to do? Like, what's your dream thing that you would want to do? Your dream job or
This
career?
is my dream job.
This is
But
it, eh?
honestly, I would love to be like Mark Cuban and just invest in people and
Like venture capitalist.
Yeah, venture capitalist
Yeah.
shit. Like I love like just helping like young entrepreneurs. Like even
Yeah.
guys in my neighborhood, like they'll call me and they'll be like, "Hey man, like I'm starting a business. Like I know how to make socks, but I don't really know how to market socks or
Yeah.
like what started Instagram and all that. Can you like show me?" And
Yeah.
like I'll work them through the steps. I'll be like, "Hey, here's Shopify. Like make a
Ah,
you know
yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah, blah." And then you know like just kind of help guys whatever I can.
Yeah, that's great, man.
It's just it's a passion. of mine.
Angel investor.
Yeah, I think entrepreneurship in general has always just been a passion of mine. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we also have like a men's accessories company that's kind of like on the back burner right now, but I've always wanted to do like as many of these projects as possible.
What was your first business ever?
My very first business was a lemonade stand outside RBC on the corner of 49th and Fraser
What?
when I was like 12 years old, and then we gave half the money to Children's Hospital. But
that's dope.
I just wanted some pocket money for the summer, so we did that.
That's
So,
dope. Lemonade. Is it hard making lemonade? Like, is it real lemonade or powder lemonade?
No, but I realized what a real business was when I had to pay my aunt back for all the supplies.
Yeah, bro. Right? Right?
Reality. Keep all
Reality.
his money.
That's
Yeah.
a tax.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
But
tax.
no, that was probably my first business, and then you know I worked at a community center for a long time, the one in the hood, Sunset.
Shout
And
out
then
Sunset.
while I was there, I learned about promoting, and then this is where my like passion started.
Yeah.
And then I sold like supplements out of my car. I did like a whole bunch of random shit.
This is hustler, eh?
Yeah, I just did a whole bunch of random shit for a while, and this is the one that really like stuck out and stuck.
Is this where the world is going? Do you think? Is the world going to hustlers? Like, are we getting away from jobs and getting into?
Yes and no. I feel like you're always gonna need those people that are gonna go out there and actually do the work and like
Cogs.
the cogs
Cogs
in
in
the
the
system. You know,
system,
yeah, exactly. But like not everyone can handle having a business or
Yeah,
doing all this
facts.
extra. You know, like there's a certain type of mentality it actually takes for you to be able to go out and be on all the time, or like you know, even my wife, like she just started a business in October, and you know sometimes she's like, I don't want to text this client back right now. And I'll be like, babe, that's a booking. Like, you
Yeah.
know, you got to text them back, right?
Yeah.
Should I text them in the morning? I'm like, what if they find someone else by the
Yeah.
morning? Like, for me, I'm
So
just
you're
like,
on.
I'm like on all the time. But I also have to understand that this is her first business. She was an employee for 7 or
Yeah.
8 years before. Like, she doesn't like have that, not drive, but like that,
Just the accountability.
that accountability
You know,
or that
yeah.
scarcity, right? Like for me, it's always just like I don't want to lose the opportunity, you know. So I'll
Right.
just be go. But for her, it'll be like, okay, like right now is my downtime, so I need to
Yeah,
whatever.
it's the
But
business swag, right? Like, you
Because
gotta
being an
have that.
employee fucks you up.
it does.
fucks you up.
Yeah,
It
having
fucks you
a
up. It
guaranteed
gives-
paycheck fucks you up. It makes you too secure.
It like when you're an entrepreneur, there is no just phone off. Like I was on my trip, being like, hey, is everyone getting in all right at the event? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on? Everyone's got their name tags. Everyone's got this, blah blah. Okay, cool. Hey, your set's on in this many hours. You did sound check. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
done. Like you know, and that's
The
me on
hunger is
vacation.
different.
It's just, but it's not everyone's gonna have that hunger.
100%.
You know what?
It's a hard one.
Absolutely.
You can't teach it either, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's
And that's what I mean.
No,
yeah.
that's a grind.
So that's
Yeah.
why I don't think it'll always be like that. But also, fuck, most jobs are getting automated. So who the fuck knows?
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, it's getting to the point now where, I mean, like, we're even at a generation where the kids don't want to work.
They don't want to work.
No.
Like,
they
what
don't.
are these guys doing that don't want to work? I don't understand.
So
What are they
this
doing?
is the crazy thing. You see the YouTubers that fucking make millions. You see the shows on TV that are like the Hannah Montanas where, I'm a rock star and I'm fucking making money and I'm not, you know, going to school or work or whatever. And then these kids think it's that easy.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's a
It's
grind.
one in a million, you know.
It's not
like,
that easy.
It's not even 1 in a million. It's like 1 in like 100 million.
Yeah,
So.
Well, I think the only thing that's changed now is you can kind of establish like mediocre income through social media for a young person. And for like a lot of young people, that's enough.
Yep.
Just, you know, if they're able to get 20, 30K off social media, that's like, they're good.
Which I have friends like that too that are like minimalists. They don't need a ton of money. You know, they maybe work remote in like Bali or somewhere else for fucking 6 months.
Kind of dope.
Right? It's a cool gig, 100%.
That's what our marketing person does. She just like
just popping off.
She lives up here, lives over there. Like she's just a nomad.
If you can do your work from your computer and your phone, like why not? Why be here
do you
all
need
the time?
overhead?
Yeah.
Why do you need any overhead? All you need is Wi-Fi and you can work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like especially with like now Zoom and everything, right?
Yeah.
Like we didn't. That was something like back in the day. It was weird to kind of Skype, you know, and like
So awkward.
I didn't even want to Skype family. I was like, that's fucking weird. Like I don't see.
You had to be
just call
extra
me.
resourceful.
Dude, we haven't even met our marketing person. I've already given her $800.
See, this is.
I've never even met her. And if you're watching, please don't take off. Like,
yeah. Just block me.
I don't know where she lives. What's your phone? I don't have one. Where's your address? I don't have one. Here's $800. Please do the work.
I gotta say, the first few things I've seen from her, I've been pretty impressed.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's got an eye.
I have a really good sense of people.
Yeah, you
so
do.
I know that
You
she's
do.
going to be good.
And we're gonna meet her soon.
Yeah, we're going to meet her in like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
As long as she doesn't hold my site hostage.
Catfish.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I think it's about time, man. And I mean, you might not hear this from a lot of people, but I want to say personally, as a creative that's been a creative in the city for a long time, grinding, trying to build stuff, it's been a real struggle because the moment you begin to get momentum, you know, the scene is not built for artists that want to kind of, you know, put things together themselves without anybody else's input.
Right.
And that's kind of what we are.
Yeah.
We create events, but we don't want input.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we have an idea of what we want to execute, we'll bring it to life. All we need is a space.
Yeah. Right.
And you were very gracious in providing the space.
It's awesome.
And I don't think you know how much it means to artists to do that.
Yeah.
Because I talk to a lot of artists, and they're like, "Oh, how'd you get that spot? How'd you get that spot?" I'm like, honestly, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We
Yeah.
we just build a relationship. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
you use this?
Yeah.
Like, sure, have it. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to work for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have some relationship with
Of
people
course,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
establish some communication.
I
But I
have
mean,
people that DM me all the time. Hey man, can I DJ for you? Hey man, can I do this? Let's do a
amazing.
show.
Good for you,
Cool
man.
man. You got 104 followers, like in one post. Like you want to do a show? Like come on, man. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like no, but that's it. Like we have built a relationship.
Yeah.
You're not just a random person asking me.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you know, you're the ultimate hustler as far as grinding goes.
Yeah, I'll try.
And I'm not. I'm honestly, I'm not. I'm whatever the creative part is. That's me.
Nice, yeah.
I'll take all the creative.
And you need both. You need
Yeah, 100%.
And we found the balance.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we were grinding our gears because we're like, okay, now what's next?
Yeah.
And the what's next part was tough.
Yeah.
But then we did the first live show. We're like, oh, that's next.
Yeah.
And then once we kind of get the ball rolling in this direction, we're kind of like, now after we announced that we're doing a show with Tubbs Entertainment, now other people are like, hey, do you want to use our spot?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
now the conversation is changing a little
The
bit.
credibility changes.
Yeah, and now we actually have an opportunity to
But
like.
it's also because this is the thing. People are tough to take a chance on people, right?
Yeah,
like this
big
is,
time.
right? Unless they really trust you or they
Yeah.
owe you something. Not everyone wants to take a chance on everyone, right? But when you have proof of concept,
Yeah.
that's when the real big fish will be like, hey, let me put fuel on your fire.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, for example, with Levels, I hope they never see this, but we first approached them with Club Mumbai. Like, that was our first spot. We're like, this place would be sick, amazing, brand new club, blah, blah, blah. And they were just opening up at the time. And even though I had a really good relationship with the assistant GM at the time, they were like, hey, man, you know, we're really going to like the Chinese Asian market, and we really don't want to do like a Club Mumbai that might confuse our people and our branding.
Interesting.
And I go, yeah, man, like we don't want to do like a Friday, Saturday, like we'll do an off night, blah, blah, blah. And they're just like, you know what? I just don't think right now is the time. And they, you know, they passed on the offer, and I go, okay, cool. We had not done one show. We had not. It was just like this was our idea. We wanted to do this Indian night. We didn't know if anyone was going to fucking show up. Like, blah, blah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we ended up finding a nightclub called MIA, and we started doing shows there. And then there were 30 to 50 people. You know, they were smaller Thursday nights. Every Thursday, you know, we're building at it. Maybe 30 to 50. Maybe a really good show. We have a singer. Something comes in. 100 people is great. Slam.
Yeah.
But we slowly
Thursday.
Right,
that's
and we
good.
started building a brand where, you know, by the end of it, when COVID hit, we were doing anywhere from, you know, 200 to 300 people on a
Amazing.
Thursday.
Amazing.
And like our New Year's and Halloween events, we're doing like 500-600 people.
Oh, that's crazy.
When we first started, like in 2019.
Yeah.
And then early 2020, COVID hits, and that business goes out of business. And so we're like, oh, fuck, like we built this whole thing. What are we going to do? And then when things finally started reopening just a tad bit at end or middle of 2020, when people were like, okay, you know what? We can do like the plexiglass and we can do this and blah, blah, blah. Or maybe it was 2021. Who the fuck knows? But
Yeah, it's a blur.
I was like, you know what? I've got to ask these guys again. And I go to Levels. I go, hey, man, this is what we did there. This is how numbers we're doing. This is what we're bringing in. You know, we'd love to now bring it in. And they go, hey, you know what? Like, that's great. Let's do it. And then they accepted us, and now we've been there for the last 2 years.
Damn.
And so that's what it is too. Right? Sometimes you just gotta, regardless of what people say, go out there and just do it.
Do it.
And then show them, and then guess what? Then they want in. Right. And now, honestly, I don't think we'd go to any other club because we just love it so much. It's home base.
Yeah.
It's
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's big enough. The sound system's
great.
sick.
The fucking little screen they have and the
amazing.
whole DJ thing.
The
like-
LED screen,
LED
the whole
screen?
setup is
Yeah.
unreal. And even
Wow.
when we bring in like artists, like we just had a guy coming from the UK and do a show with us, and he was like, "Yo, this venue is tight." And we're like,
Yeah.
"I know, I can't believe we're here."
Very Vegas-like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Like
It's
big
really dope.
format, you know. Whereas a lot of the clubs in Vancouver are like, you know, loungy more, right?
Yeah.
This is like actual big format nightclub.
I just feel like if I went there on like a night, I'd be like, Dad, going there. Like I feel like, you know, 47. I'm kind of like, man.
Come to Cabana, you won't because like everyone's
Yes.
in their like 30s and 40s.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So there you wouldn't. Levels maybe it is a
Yeah.
little bit of a student crowd because it's that EDM
Creepy.
hype, like you know.
Can you
whatever.
dance?
Yeah. Like, what do you mean?
Like, can you dance? Like, if people play music, not choreographed dance, but
I don't
when
know.
music is
Maybe.
playing, can you
yeah.
dance?
I think anybody can really dance.
So, Mike,
No,
if you really
no.
want to feel old,
Yeah.
go to Fortune.
Oh, Fortune. Yes.
Go to Fortune.
Nothing
Yes.
but kids.
I went for the first time like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Everyone looked like they were in grade 8.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
babies.
yeah.
I was like, bro.
Is it like 1920? Is it?
It's pretty much 19 to 21.
19, and like literally,
That's the
I could
spot.
have counted the amount of people on 2 hands that were over 25.
Wow.
What did you go for?
We had a meeting with the mayor because he's getting more into nightlife and he wants to help like the
Right.
nightlife, the other 9 to 5 succeed. He says. So we had a meeting for that. So we were out on a Monday, and because everything went really well, my partner and I, and we were out with the rest of our team. We're like, hey, what's open on a Monday? And Fortune was the only spot open, so we just went out after
Monday.
Yeah,
On a
they're-
Monday?
it's busier.
Was it?
It's the only night that's it's so Saturdays are busier tonight, and then Monday, and then Friday.
Was it the Filipino Artist Showcase?
So
that
it's just
night?
it's well no, it wasn't that night,
Oh,
but
okay.
like it is predominantly a Filipino crowd.
Yeah, for sure.
They actually give away like church's chicken at
Yeah.
like midnight and shit, or like
Damn!
download chicken, but they started with churches back then. It was midnight Mondays.
What?
Yeah.
That'll get the Filipinos out for
They love the
sure.
churches.
It was,
They love
it's
the
lit,
churches.
man. Like it was lit. I gotta give it to them. Like Steve and all these guys that promote out there, like they crush it. And I couldn't believe how many people were there on a Monday. I just felt really old.
Dude, maybe we should go film on a Monday at Fortune and
Do it,
just
man.
talk and ask some questions
to
to
kids.
kids.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
They are
Right?
kids, man. They're kids.
Wow.
Like you could be their dad, man.
Yeah, dude. Like, how old are you? 20? I'm like 3 times your age.
Oh my god! I hope
Yeah.
you never have to say that out loud.
That's awesome. Maybe we'll have to do that.
Okay, so this is a super side note, but someone was like to me, they're like, "Do you want to know how she's too young for you?" And I'm like, he's like, "You gotta ask one question." I'm like, "What's that?" He's like, "Ask them where they were on 9/11.
Oh.
If they can't remember where they were on 9/11, they're too young for you."
Oh,
was
that's
like,
so good.
so
That's
true.
a very good indicator.
Wow. That just really made me feel like my balls went right up inside me. I'm like, you're right. That's 21 years ago. Oh,
Or how
brutal.
old you were when they were born.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that then gets personal, right?
I
But if
get
you're just
fucked
like,
up.
hey, like, what were you doing on 9/11? You know, and they're like, oh, I don't
crawling.
know.
When was
And they're like,
9/11?
all right, bye. But I'm like, yo, I was in grade 8 by my locker, and they're like, they hit the second tower. Like, I remember that vividly.
I'll never forget that.
You know?
Yeah.
Never forget that.
Right?
Life-altering experience for everybody, I think.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, until COVID, that was the most notable thing to ever happen in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Outside of Rodney King getting beat.
Dude, I was locked down in a cell because I kicked the door during court. And I was like, boom, boom, boom. I kicked the door, and then they brought me back to the unit and locked me down. I was locked down. And then I was looking through the hole in the door at the TV down the thing, and they had the TV on, and I could see it. And I was like, they're like, it's the end of the world. And like, you think it's the end of the world when you're sitting in jail. You're like, oh my God,
Yeah, you
get out
have
of here.
no reference points.
That was horrible.
Damn.
Crazy, right?
Wow.
You're
So
like,
it's
yeah,
over.
the world is falling apart.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. You're stuck in this bunker.
Tell a young Filipino girl, yeah, I was locked in a jail cell in a federal penitentiary during 9/11. I wasn't even born. It's like, oh, balls.
Well, I got a pretty good
crawling
gauge
inside.
because my son is turning 21. So if you're within 10 years of my son, you're probably too young.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's over. It's over.
Yeah, no stepmamas in my life. No, thank you. Kids don't need no moms.
All right, ask him the question.
Okay, so we got these two high phrase questions that we like to end
Sure.
with that get an idea of who you are as a person, I think.
Okay.
When you die,
Yeah.
you get to take 3 artists' whole music catalog with you.
Yeah.
Only 3 artists, but you get their whole catalog.
Okay.
Who are you taking?
Okay. Jay-Z.
Nice.
Okay. Jay-Z.
No one's ever said Jay-Z.
That's first.
Yeah.
Oh, really? No one's
Yeah.
ever
Yeah,
said
no one's
Jay-Z?
ever
Crazy.
said Jay-Z.
No one has.
Okay, my next one's going to throw you off.
Mm-hmm.
Maroon 5.
Yes, it does throw me off.
I love
Wow.
Maroon 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Adam Levine.
Songs about Jane. Jane My Life. Anyways.
Interesting.
Wow, that's a good album.
Yeah.
CD,
that was a
whatever.
good one. Yeah. Okay, so it's Jay-Z. This is a tough question.
I know. That's Maroon 5?
And she will
I'm a music snob.
knock
man.
on my corner, knock on my door. I just want to make you feel beautiful.
I don't know. I mean, it'd be a toss-up. Ooh. Okay. I would go Bollywood. Because I would need some... I'm still good in my roots.
Yeah.
I love my Bollywood. I would take Atif Aslam.
Okay.
If you ever...
Yeah, I know who that is.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's a
very
crazy mix,
interesting.
man.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we've never had Jay-Z.
No.
We get a lot of Michael Jackson.
A lot of Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he's the default for a
I
lot
was
of
gonna
people.
be like, it'd be a toss up between Michael or Drake, and then I'm like, fuck it, that's too generic. Like, and also like, I don't need to listen to their shit for the rest of my life, you know. And but I knew when you asked me that question, I'm like, okay, like for me, I need diversity in my music.
Yeah,
like
that's diverse.
because like I listen to like club bangers all the time.
Right.
That's why I'm driving around listening to like Maroon 5, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and like today I was listening to like. Was it Baby Love by the Supremes? Like, you know,
that's
a
like
good one.
You know, just like random shit like that's not like and like, you know, or like
Is
I'm gonna kill you.
Jay-Z the greatest rapper, in your opinion?
I personally think I think he is the best rapper out of all these guys. And I think if he had not gone the business mogul route, he would have dropped a lot more shit. You know, I think he would have had more time to create. I think he would have had more time to do all that. And I think he could have been even greater than, you know, the Dr. Dre's or whoever that's still
Yeah,
making
yeah.
music out there. You know what?
He's definitely my top 3 greatest of all time.
Really?
100%.
Wow.
100%.
I just feel like in that short
Lyrical
period of
god.
time, like, or not even that, it was short.
He's got a lot of albums.
That's one reason I
Yeah.
picked him, because he has a lot of albums.
Yeah, a lot of variety.
Diversity in the albums. And yeah, like I just think, yeah, he would have fucking crushed it if he didn't make all this money.
Billy. He's got a
Sometimes you
Billy.
gotta stay humble to keep creative, right? That's
Yeah,
the thing too,
yeah,
right?
100%. You got to keep that hunger for sure. Yeah.
All right.
That's
Well,
the next one.
thank you for really coming down. And, you know, other thing is thank you for giving us the opportunity to come and represent you and
Yeah,
for
no
us to
problem.
do our show and
I'm
really
excited.
to do something really different. You know, I
Yeah.
know you promote a lot of really great stars. Your roster's fucking off the hook.
Stacked.
And, for us to come and do something under your name, we really appreciate it, man, because you're a fucking legend.
I'm excited because I love doing different things. And, this is something that's, outside of my norm. So, hey, if you guys can be the creatives and put this showcase together, and I can just bring people to you and put people in front of you,
and we'll step up and we'll fucking hit a Barry Balance home run.
And if it's great and we get good feedback, we can do it once a month or whatever.
Yeah, it's great, man.
And we'll build on it. You know what I mean? We're looking to really, doing live podcasts and stuff is big in the States. It's starting to become a thing.
Yeah, the tours are crazy.
It's starting to happen, right? And so we're the first ones to really start doing it in the city. And it's people are still saying to me, oh, that's crazy. And I'm like, watch.
It's becoming the thing now.
Yeah. Watch.
Still.
No, I like it.
All right. So my question is this. And it's, eventually our time on this world is going to pass. And we're all going to die. So, sorry, man, it's the beer shot. It's fucking starting to hit me now. So, what happens? Lightweight. So, tell me, sir, what happens when you die? What do you think happens when you die?
Oh, that's a good one. So, as a Hindu, we think that reincarnation, right? I honestly believe that nothing happens. It's just dead air. I don't believe that you come back and you're like a moth or if you did great things you're a dog that's going to be with some king or whatever, you know what I mean? And then or some people believe in heaven and hell. I don't think you're going to have to pay for your sins or whatever, all that bullshit. But I just think it's just you had this one shot, you either fucked it up or you fucking did something with it, and that's it. And you leave back whatever legacy you want to leave back. It's radio silence. That's it.
Do you think exactly same answer for him?
Yeah.
He thinks it's lights out.
Lights out, man.
It seems the most logical, right?
100%.
For me, it makes me think okay, unicorns. Where are they? Where's the evidence there were unicorns? Right? Where are they?
There's none.
Oh, we got stuffed animals, and you just have to believe in unicorns. Fuck that. Where's the unicorn skull? Right?
Facts.
There's never been one.
No horn attached.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's the same to me as religion. Where's the facts? Where's the truth?
What about science, though?
What about science?
Science doesn't say that energy can die.
Yeah, but
whatever your life force is, it doesn't.
Science
energy
says
can't be created or destroyed. It just takes different forms, right?
So you think the ghost comes out?
No, I think that we're. He fucking hates this. I think that we're stardust essentially because they say that all the chemicals in the stars are in us.
Okay, yeah.
So I essentially think that we return to the universe, and whatever energy form that is. Yeah. I think we return back to the energy source.
Magic dust into the sky.
We go back to the energy source, and I think that's where we end.
Yeah, I just.
Yeah, the baby cries and the baby's born.
No. Yeah. Fuck a baby.
And then a unicorn.
Don't fuck a baby. Fuck babies. I don't like babies.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's it's funny because science would lead you to believe that, when you step on an ant. Right? So when you step on an ant, that ant dies. But that energy of the ant is going somewhere.
No, I think that's too minimal. I think human beings specifically, because of our atomic makeup, because of how identical it resembles the stars. Because actual ingredients that the chemical composition of stars is us. Identical chemical composition of what's in stars can only be found in humans, can only be found in stars. I think there's a reason for that. I don't think it's just a coincidence that we're made of the same stuff as stars. Right? I first heard an astronaut talking about this. And he's like, your star stuff. Don't ever look at yourself in the mirror. Just think that you're just this. Your chemical makeup is the same thing as what you see in the sky. So
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's crazy. When you look at the science of it, you're like, what? We don't look like anything.
Yeah, but I also feel like even if you did go up into dust, I don't think you'd have conscious knowledge of it.
No, we wouldn't.
Right?
No.
So it would be radio silence.
True. I think we give too much credit to the body because it holds us all the time. I think we give it too much credit. I think all of our senses are attached to this thing.
Yeah.
So whatever we feel, think, adapt to, we give all the credit to this thing, and we think without this thing.
No, but it's like when you're sleeping, right? You still see something, do something, something's happening. It's a conscious. You're not touching, seeing, or doing anything
physical.
but that's your conscious being up and awake and doing things, right? So I think like when you're dying, I don't think that conscious is still like seeing what's happening around you. You know?
Shit, I miss pussy.
Yeah, not feeling anything, not doing it.
No
FOMO.
FOMO.
I think it would just be like, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's a debate. No one's ever gonna know. But
we'll never, ever, ever gonna know.
no one's gonna come back and be like, hey, actually, this is what it was, man.
Yeah. So I choose silence.
We'll leave it to Elon.
Right?
Yeah, figure it out, Elon. Do something fucking worth it.
Yeah.
And if people do want to get into one of your club nights,
Yep.
what's the best way to hit you up?
Hit up my IG, tubbs.ent, so tubbs.ent. DM me, preferably not on the night of.
Yep.
Let us know ahead of time what you're looking to do. And yeah, like, I mean, there's a lot of cool things we can do. So like, people just ask us to plan for them ahead of time, come with an idea with us, and we can make things happen. Like, I've had people that are like, hey man, like, we want to do a post-engagement party in the private room of your, club. Cool, I can set that up for you. Hey, we want to do dinner down the street for 70 people, but only 20 of us want to come to the club. Cool, I can set all of that up for you. Like, let us know. Like,
Damn.
What's the worst thing someone can ask you?
is ask me to get in when we're already full.
Yeah, when you're already full.
That's the word. I cannot do anything for you then. Like, I've had times where cops are standing outside and they're like, "You're full capacity," and guys are like, "Yo, get me in. I'll give you $100." And I'm like, "Bruh, I don't want your money." It's not that. I'm like, you would have gone and given it straight to the bouncer. It's fine. But the cops right there, they told us, don't fucking let in a soul until people are leaving.
Yeah.
And we can't let you in. They're like, oh, what's one more guy? I'm like, tell that to the fucking cop.
Yeah.
We don't want to get a fine.
He said it
They don't understand.
many times. Do not hit him up the night of, an hour before you're going out.
Hour before.
To get into Tubbs Entertainment
That's the
spots.
douchebag move.
It's a bad move. It's a bad
That's
move.
the Canadian
I mean, who
flag
knows? In the
face painted
fall,
douchebag
maybe when
move.
things die down, maybe every night there'll be tables available. But it is not the old nightlife scene anymore.
No.
Like, we have a shitty bar across the street called Two Parrots, and they have a lineup.
Oh,
down
I
the street.
used to. I did some DJing at Two Parents. In my time. Yeah,
So that place has a lineup down the street. Think about that.
Oh yeah. I don't know why that
wanna
place
get
was
out.
always busy too.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
People wanna get out.
Pubby
Yeah.
place.
People just want to be out and about.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So make sure you come out July 28th.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Real Night of Entertainment featuring Shalita, Tiago Vasquez, Michaela Chung,
Yes.
No Ties 1879, and of course your high phrase host, myself, Elite,
Yeah.
ACDJ Mike Olton.
Game show night too.
And of course we have a huge prize giveaway. Big shout out to Heat Vault for putting this together for us. We have a big Heat Vault mystery box that's going to be a
Mystery. I love mystery
hype
boxes.
box full of swag
Yeah.
from Heat Vault.
You want to win it?
You want to win it because it's going to be valued at to about $500.
Nice.
And if you know anything about Heat Vault, they are the leader in hype swag in this city. So it's _elite. Make sure you follow High Phrase Podcast. Make sure you follow The Real. Is it still The Real?
The real Mike Olton.
The Real Mike Olton.
Yeah.
The Real Mike Olton, and of course Party Pros. And when you're watching
ACDJ.
this, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see more of what we do. High Phrase Podcast.
Wet
y'all.
T-shirt contest. Maybe we could do wet T-shirt contest.
it.
Go back to the bar of the '90s, right? Do a wet T-shirt. Is that
Oh,
legal?
that
Still?
would
I think
go-
Wednesdays at Levels they do it.
Do they?
I think Wednesdays at Levels.
Wednesdays at Levels. I'm going
It's
down.
Latin nights. I'm pretty sure they still do it.
I think you might get more men signing up for that.